A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to homicide detail. A night watchman has been stabbed to death in a downtown appliance store. There's no apparent motive for the killing. No lead to the suspect. Your job? Find him.
Dragnet, the documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Monday, August 8th. It was warm in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of homicide detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Lorman. My name's Friday. We were on the way out from the office, and it was 8:26 a.m. when we got to the corner of 7th and Ducommun Streets. Bentley Appliance Company.
Sure, a big place, huh?
Yeah.
There's somebody coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what do you want?
Police officers.
Oh, yeah, just a minute. Come on in.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
I guess it'd be a good idea if I locked the door again, huh?
If you'd like to, yes, sir.
Good idea. There, now, it's all secure. My name's Ralph Bentley. I'm the one who put in the call.
This is Frank Smith. My name's Friday.
How you do?
How you do, sir?
Where's the body?
Oh, back here in the stockroom.
Who found him, Mr. Bentley?
Our building superintendent, Curtis Holman.
Is he here now?
Yeah, he's upstairs.
All right.
I suppose you'll want to talk to him.
Yes, we will.
Oh, I'll get it.
Go ahead.
Oh, thanks. Oh, over here. It's behind these packing cases.
Uh-huh.
Well, you can see there he was stabbed.
Yeah.
Oh, it's sure a mess, isn't it?
Yeah. What's his name? Mr. Bentley? The victim's name?
Oh, Clyde Maddock.
M-A-T-I-C-K?
I-K, no C.
Mm-hmm. What time was the body discovered?
It must have been about 7:30. That's when Holman comes to work.
Did he find it right away?
I don't know. I haven't been able to get him to say much. When I came in, he was just standing here looking at the body. He was kind of numb, you know.
Mm-hmm.
What time did you get here?
Must have been about 7:45. That's when I called you, wasn't it?
Yes, sir, about that time.
Yeah, that's when it was, 7:45.
How long has this Maddock worked for you?
Oh, 3 years. Almost 4.
Has anything in here been disturbed?
Not that I know of. I don't think Holman touched anything. I couldn't talk to him very much, but I'm pretty sure he knows enough to leave things alone. Oh, I sure can't understand it.
What's that?
Well, take a look around. It doesn't look like there's a fight. Does it look like it to you?
No.
Well, that's it.
What do you mean?
Well, it stands to reason it was somebody he knew, some stranger. There'd be signs. He wouldn't just let somebody come up and stab him in the back, now, would he?
Doesn't seem likely, does it?
Well, in the 3 years he's been with us, I've never heard anyone say an unkind thing about Maddock. Not one. Man didn't have an enemy in the world.
Well, that doesn't mean much.
One
of his friends didn't like him then. "8:30 a.m. We put in a call to the crime lab and asked them to come out and go over the scene. The manager led us upstairs to the main offices, and we met the building superintendent, Curtis Holman. He was a small man in his early 50s.
I don't care how it looks, Mr. Faraday. I didn't do it. You got to believe that. I didn't have anything to do with it.
Now, nobody says you did, Holman. The officers just want to ask you some questions.
Well, I don't want them to think I killed him. I don't want them to think that.
What time did you find the body?
I guess it must have been around 7:30, someplace around in there.
Mm-hmm.
You see, I just come in. Locked the door after me, and then I was going to come up here and change my clothes.
Yeah?
I got my own closet down there in the hall. My own closet.
Yes, sir.
I was coming back, going upstairs, and I saw him just laying there. Right away, I knew he was dead.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have to have nobody tell me that. I knew he was dead.
What'd you do?
Nothing. Couldn't.
What's that?
Couldn't do nothing. First time I ever saw a dead man. I don't know. I guess just stood there and looked. First time.
Yeah, that's where he was when I came in.
Yeah, I was just there. You see, I didn't kill him. Wasn't me. Somebody did it, but wasn't me.
All right, Holman, all right.
Now, we was friends, Clyde and me. Friends.
I guess I should have told you he doesn't mean any harm.
We understand.
Played cribbage once in a while in the morning. Me and Clyde played cribbage.
Was there anybody else in the store when you got here, Holman?
Huh? You talking to me?
Yes, sir. Did you see anybody else in the place when you got here?
No, just me and Clyde. Only he was dead.
How'd you get in?
Got a key. See, right here. My own key.
How many keys are there, Mr. Bentley?
Oh, it's 3 out. I got one, Holman has one, Maddock had the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Have you contacted his family?
Hasn't got one. As far as we know, he hasn't got any people.
You can give us his address, though, can't you?
Oh, sure, no trouble at all. He lives upstairs.
What?
Part of the deal we worked out when he started. A little room on the 3rd floor. He gets that and the salary.
Real nice way he fixed it up. All painted bookshelves, a lot of books. All over the place, books.
Wonder if we could see it.
Certainly.
You like it. Real nice room. Nicer than mine. Wish I had it.
We can go down this way.
Want me to go up with you?
Yes, sir, if you'd like to.
Sure. I like Clyde's room.
It'd be faster if we take the stairs.
All right.
Here we are. All right, go ahead.
Thank you.
I guess Clyde had about every book printed. Grade 1 for reading.
That so?
Oh, yeah. All time had his face in the book. All time reading.
Uh-huh.
Smart. Knew all kinds of things. Just asked Clyde a question and he knew the answer. I was all time telling him he should go on the quiz shows. He'd won them all. Knew the names of all the presidents, when they was elected, all about them.
Is that right?
It's right down this way.
All right.
I used to sit there and look through the books. Didn't make much sense to me, but Clyde sure liked them.
All right, Holman, I'm sure the officers know what you mean.
I'm just trying to tell them, that's all. Tell them about Clyde.
Sure. Oh, this is it. Oh, it's locked.
You have a key?
No, I don't.
I got one. Got it on the ring. You want me to open the door?
If you would, yeah.
Sure thing. Glad to help you. Find the right one now.
Here, you drop this.
Why do you have a key to the room?
Clyde gave it to me. Said it was all right for me to have it in case I wanted to clean up. He let me do that. Clean up.
All right. Well, do you have the key?
Yeah. Here it is. There you are.
Hey. Sure looks like there was a party in here.
Yeah.
Certainly didn't have any idea things like this went on. Oh, just look at this room. Beer bottles all over the place, glasses, empty bottle. This place is filthy.
I was going to clean it up, Mr. Bentley. Honest I was. Right after I finished with the rest of the building, I was going to clean it up.
Gee. 14 beer bottles, all of them empty. Boy, I don't see how a man could drink that much beer.
Looks like you had some help, though.
Huh?
What do you got?
Take a look at these glasses.
Yeah.
Lipstick.
Don't
smear.
touch them.
I'm sorry. Boy, that really does it. That's the capper.
Sir?
Oh, when he took the job, I made it perfectly clear. No mistake about it, none at all.
What do you mean?
Beer drinking, I don't mind. He's got that right. But I told him there wasn't supposed to be any women up here.
No.
He knew it. Doesn't look good. Place of business just doesn't look good.
Yeah.
I told him if he broke the rule once, just once, he'd be sorry about it. That's what I told him.
He's got no quarrel about it now.
Huh?
He's sorry. The crime lab arrived and started to go over the room. After photographs had been taken, the body was removed to the county morgue. Apparently, the victim had died of internal hemorrhage caused by 3 deep stab wounds in the back. He'd been dead about 36 hours. From questioning the other employees of the store, we were able to find out a little about the victim's background. All of them knew him as a quiet man who kept pretty much to himself. We asked about the women friends. They couldn't help us there either. The questioning continued.
As far as I know, there wasn't anybody.
He ever mention any friends to you?
No, we didn't talk much. I didn't see him a lot. You know, he'd be in the halls or something like that, but we didn't talk much.
Is there anything more you can tell us that might help?
I don't think so. If I think of anything, I'll let you know.
All right. Thank you very much.
Is that all?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, sure getting us nowhere,
Yeah. Let's have the next one, huh?
huh? All right. You come in now, Miss Lask?
Yes,
It's Cora Lask, is that right?
that's right.
My name's Smith. This is Sergeant Friday.
I do.
How are you? Like to sit down?
Thank you. Guess it's about Mr. Maddock, huh?
That's right.
Awful thing to have happen. I work in the office, almost right under his room. Kind of gives me the creeps to think about it. A little creepy.
Did you know him very well?
Yeah, I guess you could say I did. I went to lunch with him a couple of times, even had a couple of dates. Not flower-type dates, though.
How's that?
He didn't bring flowers.
Oh, I see.
We met after work and went to dinner, nothing serious.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know any of his other friends?
Oh, just about everybody in the place. Wasn't anybody that wasn't friends with Mr. Maddock. Everybody liked him.
Is there anybody special?
You mean like a girlfriend?
That's right.
I don't know. Maybe it was Bessie.
Who's that, Miss?
Bessie Rowan. Her and Mr. Maddock were pretty friendly. You ask me, I'd say might even have been serious.
She work here?
Yeah, stockroom clerk, head of the department.
I see.
Pretty important job. Got charge of all the ordering.
Yeah.
You ever been in Mr. Maddock's room?
I know you're just trying to do what you think is right, Mr. Friday. But I don't like what you're getting at.
No offense, Miss Lask. Just a routine question.
Oh, the answer's no, I told you. I just went out with him a couple of times, that's all.
Oh, I see.
You remember that.
Yes, ma'am.
Is Miss Rowan here this morning?
No, she isn't. It's a funny thing, too.
What do you mean?
It's not like her to miss a day's work. Long as I've been here, she never done it before. Always here, always on time.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's so funny. She called this morning and said she wouldn't be able to make it.
Did she say why?
Not really. Kind of talked around it, you know. Matter of fact, I didn't think she had a real reason for not coming in.
How was that?
The way she acted. Say, you don't think it had anything to do with Mr. Maddock, do you?
I wouldn't know.
I bet that's it. She knows something. That's why she's not coming in. That's the reason.
It's possible.
More than that, she knows something. I'll bet you on it. Bet you anything.
No, I wouldn't be too fair.
Huh?
We'd like to see you win. We checked all of the employees of the store through R&I. Except for 2 drunk arrests for the janitor, Curtis Hallman, there was no record on any of them. We tried to contact Bessie Rowan at her home, but she wasn't there. The neighbors were unable to tell us anything that might aid us in finding her. We asked them to notify us in the event she returned. At 12:46 p.m., an unidentified woman called the Bentley Appliance Company and asked for the victim. She was told that he was out and was asked to leave a phone number where she could be contacted. Frank and I checked with the phone company and found that the number was assigned to a public phone booth in a downtown department store. We drove over to the place and talked with one of the clerks.
Yes, it seems to me there was a woman by the phone booth.
Can you give us a description of her?
Not a very good one, I'm afraid.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anything you can tell us might help.
See, there is one thing, though.
What's that?
Might not mean anything.
Well, what is it, ma'am?
Her hair.
Yeah?
Real red. About the brightest red I've ever seen. Had to come from a bottle. Never saw any natural hair that color.
All right.
Does that help you any?
Well, we don't know yet.
Oh, I didn't think it would. Just something you remember. Something kind of outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought of it. Figured it might be a way for you to remember if it's the one you're looking for.
Well, if it is, we've got another way. 4:35 p.m. Frank and I went back to the city hall and checked into the office. There was a note in the book for us to get in touch with Sergeant J. Allen at the crime lab. He just finished his preliminary examination of physical evidence and wanted to go over his findings with us.
Back here, Joe. Frank?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, how'd you do?
Not bad. Here, take a look.
Yeah?
These are the beer bottles we found in the room, 14 of them. They're clean. Able to lift 3 good prints from one of the glasses.
Enough for identification?
You come up with a finger.
Not enough for classification, though.
No.
Anything else?
I went over the room with a vacuum cleaner. Found this in the couch.
Earring.
Yeah. Imitation stone, Monning's gold filled. Nothing else on it.
Any way of checking where it was bought, Jay?
It'll be pretty hard. Costume, jewelry, a lot of places make it.
Even more than that, cellar?
Yeah.
Found this handkerchief on the floor under the couch.
No monogram. Any laundry marks?
No. Went over it with ultraviolet. There's nothing there.
Is that it?
Well, lipstick marks on the glasses we lifted them. Might be able to use them in identification.
Yeah.
You come up with a motive yet?
No. No, as near as we can tell, there wasn't anything stolen from the store. The victim had $36 in cash on him. Expensive watch, ring. None of it was touched. You got any more for us, Jay?
Well, couldn't find the murder weapon. Wasn't in the room. We checked the rest of the place. Couldn't turn it.
Any idea what it might have been, Jay?
A sharp instrument, probably a pocket knife, 3-inch blade. Oh, one more thing. Not sure about it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get it. Take a look.
What do you got there?
Hair. Found them on the victim's jacket. No way of telling how long they'd been there.
A human?
Yeah. Whoever they belong to shouldn't be too hard to spot.
What do you mean?
Bright red.
We left the crime lab and drove over to the Bentley Appliance Company. We went up to the second floor and talked with the secretary again, Cora Lask.
Sure, I can give you a description of Bessie. No trouble at all.
Have you heard from her today?
Not since this morning. I told you about that. You know, how she wouldn't be in.
Yeah.
That's the only time.
Now, about the description. What color hair does she have?
It's a blonde color.
Dark or light?
Kind of in between. I guess that's the reason she fixes it up.
How do you mean?
Touch-up. Usually a sort of strawberry blonde, I guess you call it.
Uh-huh.
Last time she did it, I guess it was a week ago, she had an accident.
Well?
With the dye. She did something wrong. Sure looked funny.
How do you mean?
But it turned out wrong. Embarrassed her all over the place. Everybody was making cracks about it. She said she was going to redo it first chance she had.
Yeah.
I kind of laughed myself. It was pretty hard to imagine.
What's that?
That color red hair.
We returned to the office and filled out the reports. At 6:18 p.m., we got a call from one of the suspect's neighbors telling us that she'd returned home. We drove out to talk to her.
Yeah?
Bessie Rowan?
That's right. Who are you?
Police officer, I'd like to talk to you.
Well, I haven't got anything to say to you. It's not going to do me much good, though, is it, huh? Is it? You're going to take me down to Pokey anyway, aren't you? Aren't you going to?
Might be better if we talk to you inside.
Oh, well, then. Come on in. Make no difference where we talk. Not a bit. You ain't going to believe me anyway.
About what?
That I didn't kill Clyde. You ain't going to believe me, are you?
Why don't you tell us?
All right, I will. What do you think of that, huh? What do you think of that?
You alone here?
No, I got 3 or 4 friends hiding in the closet. They usually don't come out this early, though. Wait until it gets dark. That's when they like it, when it's dark.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you want me to tell you now, huh? Do you?
About what?
About Clyde. How he's dead. You want me to?
Why don't you try?
No matter what I say, you're going to believe what you want to, so it'd probably be easier if I went along with you, wouldn't it, huh?
Might be.
Okay, then. I killed him.
6:23 p.m. We continued to talk to Bessie Rowan. Frank went out to the kitchen and made a pot of coffee. After we'd gotten several cups down, Miss Rowan, she sobered up and was able to answer our questions.
I didn't mean it. I wasn't feeling very good. I guess that's why I said it.
Did you see him Saturday night?
Yeah.
Where?
After work. Met him. We went to the place in the corner, had a couple of drinks, and then I came home.
Ever been in his room?
What, you mean as a company?
Yeah.
Guess it wouldn't do any good to lie about it. Yeah, I've been there.
When?
I don't know. I guess the last time was a week ago. Somewhere in there, I had a couple of drinks.
Mm-hmm. How'd you and Maddox get along?
All right. We didn't set the world on fire.
How'd you know he was dead?
Heard it.
Where?
I'd rather not say. Like somebody in trouble.
You got a good-sized piece of that right now. Why don't you tell us?
Friend of mine. I called this morning.
That's how you found out?
Yeah. I guess his friend wasn't supposed to say anything. As soon as she did, she told me not to say anything.
What time did you see Maddox last?
I guess it was about 7:30. Right after we came out of the bar, he walked me back to the parking lot, and I came home.
Anybody vouch for that?
No.
You can prove it then, though.
Maybe they changed the laws, huh?
What do you mean by that?
I always thought you had to prove I was guilty. They done away with that?
No.
Then start proving.
All right, get a coat and we'll go downtown.
You gonna book me?
We'll see.
Gotta make a charge, don't you?
If you want it that way.
Never mind. I'll get a jacket.
Where is it?
Bedroom closet.
You want to show me?
You don't trust anybody, do you?
Let's get the coat, lady.
That's the one.
Okay. Here you are.
The gentleman would hold it.
Yeah.
All set?
Yeah, I guess so. You turn off the coffee?
Yeah, I think so.
You better be sure. I'm not going to come home and have to clean a burned coffee pot.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Huh?
You might not be coming home. The woman was taken downtown to the city hall. Her fingerprints were taken, and we checked her name and description through R&I once more, but we failed to come up with a record for her. 8:15 p.m. While I talked to her in the squad room, Frank went down the hall.
You're going to let me go home.
As soon as you tell us the truth.
I've told you everything I know. It's all you're going to get.
Joe.
Yeah.
Here it is.
What's that? The solution to the case?
It might be. It's a report from latent prints.
Yeah?
Your fingerprints match with the ones we found on some glasses in his room.
What does that mean?
You were in his room.
I've already admitted
You
that.
told us you weren't there Saturday.
So he's a sloppy housekeeper.
Now, we talked to the janitor. He cleaned the room Saturday morning. The glasses weren't there then.
How about it, Miss Rowan?
Make it easier if you give us a statement. Come on.
All right, I was there, but I didn't kill him, and that's the truth.
Go ahead.
After we left the bar, he asked me to come up and have a nightcap. I did.
Yeah?
We had some stuff to talk over.
What?
We wanted to get married. We talked about it before. There was something hanging him up. I don't know what it was. I told him we couldn't go on like that anymore. It had to be either one way or the other. Either we'd get married or else we'd call the whole thing off.
Yeah.
He asked for a couple of days. Said he'd clean up whatever the trouble was by then.
Yeah?
I told him to go ahead. That's all. Had a couple of drinks and then I left and I came straight home.
What time did you get there?
About 10, maybe 10:30.
Why'd you lie to us?
I don't know. I was drunk. You saw that.
Yeah.
I got scared. Figured sure you'd think I did it.
Did Maddox have any other girlfriends?
I don't know. We didn't talk about it.
Did he mention anybody else?
Yeah, I guess. A couple of times he talked about some girl that was giving him trouble. Called him at work, on his back. Told me he was trying to get rid of her.
Possible she might have been the reason you couldn't get married?
Yeah, might be.
You know anything about her?
No, we didn't talk much about her. A couple of times he'd be hacked because she'd called the store, made a big scene. Said she was usually gassed. She was a real lush, the way he put it, drunk most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Funny, though. She didn't go for hard booze.
Huh?
Just drank beer.
On the chance that the empty beer bottles we'd found in the victim's room had been bought in the neighborhood, we began an immediate canvass of the liquor stores in the area. We gave the dealers a description of Clyde Maddock, and we also asked if a woman had purchased 14 bottles of beer. In the first 5 stores, we drew a blank, but the clerk in the 6th told us that he had made such a sale on Saturday night to a woman. He was unable to tell us who she was, but he did say that he'd seen her several times in the neighborhood bars. We started to check them. Several bartenders knew the woman, but were unable to tell us her name or where we could find her. At 12:20, we stopped at a place called the Pink Pigeon.
Yeah, I know her. In here all the time. She's a beer drinker.
You know her name?
Let me think. Yeah, Gladys something. I don't think I ever heard the last part. Wouldn't make me unhappy if she didn't come back.
What do you mean?
Well, she's all the time tanked, loud, dirty mouth. Chick like that doesn't do the place any good.
You know where we can get in touch with her?
What's the matter? She done something?
We'd like to talk to her.
Well, sure. I didn't mean to stick my nose in where it don't belong.
That's all right. You know where we can find her?
I don't know. I guess her place would be as good as any.
Well, where's that?
Couple of blocks up. It's a brown house, second from the corner. You can't miss it. Just like her, a real mess. There's weeds all around. It's a brown house.
All right, thank you.
I'm glad to help out. I've been saying for a long time she was going to end up in real trouble. Been saying that for a long time. I've been telling everybody.
Uh-huh.
They didn't believe me.
Well, they will now. We left the bar and drove over to the house the bartender had described. There was a light on in the front room when we got there. The name on the mailbox read, Mrs. Clyde Maddock.
Yes?
You Miss Maddock?
That's right. Who are you?
Police officer.
Come on in. I've been expecting you. Wait a minute, I'll get a coat.
That's all right, I'll get it.
You kind of surprised me.
How's that?
I kind of figured you'd find me before this. Didn't think it'd take this long.
Did you kill him?
Yeah. He wanted a divorce. I wouldn't give it to him. Wanted to marry some floozy where he worked. He wouldn't give me a chance to work things out. I tried to convince him he was wrong. I told him if he tried to leave me, he'd be sorry. I tried to convince him. He wouldn't believe me.
Well, maybe he does now. Let's go.
The story you've just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On December 16th, trial was held in Department 97, Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. In a moment, the results of that trial. Gladys Markham Maddock was tried and convicted of murder in the second degree and received punishment as prescribed by law. Murder in the second degree is punishable by imprisonment for a period of from 5 years to life in the state penitentiary. You have just heard Dragnet, a series of authentic cases from official files. Technical advice comes from the Office of Chief of Police W.H. Parker, Los Angeles Police Department.
Tired of the everyday grind? Ever dream of a life of romantic adventure? Want to get away from it all? We offer you Escape.
Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure.
You are a passenger aboard a submarine, making its last peaceful voyage across the sea. While unknown to you, the captain has a plan, which, if it succeeds, will mean for you and the entire crew a fate from which there can be no escape.
So listen now as Escape brings you Marianne Mosner and Francis Rosenwald's exciting story, The Log.
When I was a cub reporter, my boss told me, be there. Don't let your own emotions color your story. Stick to the facts. So, these are the facts. This is the way it happened. I met Captain Jan Zabatos in a Scandinavian port. During the last war, he'd been in command of a submarine, the only sub of a nation that fought the dictators side by side with the Allies. When he was finally forced into this neutral port, the captain preferred internment to surrender. After that, his nation went out of the business of being a nation. He was left behind with his ship, unwanted by the Allies, and a burden to the government that had become his permanent host. To pay for the vessel's berth and maintenance, the authorities turned her into a tourist's exhibit, permitting her skipper to stay aboard as caretaker and tourist guide. We met during one of those guided tours.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the tour of the SS Seagull, a great ship with a peerless war record. It was my honor and privilege to guide her across hostile waters as master of this man of war that gave battle to the last torpedo. Thank you. No, thank you. Thank you. You are very welcome all, and this way if you please.
You've got a few minutes, Captain? I'm Bill Rawlins, New York Globe. I enjoyed your tour a lot.
Thank you, Mr. Rawlins. Always glad to talk to gentlemen of the press. I presume you would like to write a story on the Seagull?
Well, to be honest about it, sir, I'd rather write about her skipper.
I am honored. But without the Seagull, you won't have much of a story. She and I are comrades in arms.
The war has been over a long time, Captain.
Yes. Yes, of course.
Haven't you ever thought of going home?
Mr. Rollins, this is my home, and always will be.
As we walked across the deck, the Seagull came to life the way her skipper talked about her exploits at sea. And I saw 1,500 tons of steel that have never faltered, never failed. I was busy taking notes when the man came up the gangplank, stocky, brisk, dressed in a natty gray suit, a briefcase under his arm.
How do, gentlemen? Where do I find the man in charge?
I'm in command of the Seagull, Captain Jan Shabatos. What can I do for you?
The name's Andrews, James Picard. I represent the Liverpool office of the Marine Salvage and Surplus Corporation. You mind if I look around?
The next tour of the Seagull commences at 16 o'clock.
That's fine. You go right ahead. I know my way around ships. Bought and sold them all my life. This is my first time.
I'm afraid you must be mistaken, sir. The Seagull is not for sale.
Not anymore. My company just bought her. I closed the deal yesterday.
Look, this can't be. Nobody has authority to sell my ship.
The government has, according to international law. This isn't your ship anymore, Captain. Do you realize what it costs this country to keep her docked here?
I suppose I knew that this was going to happen. Excuse me, sir, what does your company plan to do with the Seagull?
Scrap her. What else is she good for?
Yes, of course. What else? You plan to break her up here?
No, we'll have to tow her across to Liverpool.
Mr. Andrews, the Seagull is perfectly capable to sail under her own power.
All the way across the North Sea? No, it must be pretty rusty by now.
My ship is in as good condition as she was 10 years ago when we put in this port.
I know how you feel, Skipper, but if you don't mind, I'd rather play it safe.
No, I don't think I made myself clear, sir. This ship has had the finest maintenance that you find aboard any vessel. I have seen to that myself. Would you care to go below and look about, sir?
Sure, why not?
Then if you will follow me. Rust and corrosion, I understand.
She was a beauty, all right. Her diesels reposing in gleaming silence. Her eye, a Zeiss periscope, set to scan the horizon. Her tubes ready for torpedoes. I felt a strange affinity toward this ship that to Andrews meant just so many tons of metal to be turned into X amount of dollars, while to her captain she was a whole world of tradition. A world now coming to an end.
And still, I suppose you think that the Seagull should be dismantled and scrapped?
Well, I'm afraid that's what we bought her for.
Then may I respectfully make a last request on her behalf?
I'll be happy to oblige if it's anything reasonable.
Don't tow her away like a crippled ship. Let me guide her on this last journey. All we need is 1 week, a skeleton crew. My services are free.
I don't know. All right. I'll tell you what, Skipper. I'll check with my company and get in touch with you.
Well, that sounds like a good idea to me, Andrews. You'd be saving your company quite a bit of money.
My firm's allergic to taking chances.
You don't take chances with the Seagull.
The cold logic of the dollar in the bank, not the captain's last request, persuaded the scrap middleman to take a well-calculated risk on the Seagull and her master. Mr. Andrews was to accompany the ship on her final journey. I requested and was granted permission to go along and cover the voyage for my paper. It was a gray, overcast morning when we boarded the Seagull. She was straining gently at her anchors with the last of the ebb tide.
Well, Skipper hired a decent cook. Nothing like sea air to give a man an appetite.
I'm not looking forward to a picnic, Mr. Andrews. All I want is a story.
You won't find it in this barge, Rawlins. But I can give you plenty of stories. My company isn't averse to publicity.
When we reached the bridge, we found a changed man. Captain Jan Zabatos, commander of the submarine Seagull, wearing a freshly creased uniform, windbreaker, and his well-worn battle cap.
Anchor secure, sir.
All engines back aft.
All engines back aft, sir.
Course 005.
005, sir.
Port engine, back 2/3. Starboard engine, ahead, standard.
Port engine back 2/3. Starboard engine ahead standard, sir.
Stand by, all hands.
Standing by, sir.
Now. Well, gentlemen, we are all.
Chilly this morning, Skipper.
Perfect weather.
Makes you hungry anyway. What time do we...
Breakfast will be served in my quarters in 10 minutes, Mr. Andrews.
Come on down, Rawlins. Let's get some chow.
We had breakfast. It was better than Andrews had expected. And he was in an expansive mood when we returned to the bridge. He'd fortified himself with a thick cigar which stuck out of his mouth like a stubby finger pointed at the captain.
How's it going, Skipper?
Passing the 3-mile zone, sir.
Weather seems to be clearing up. If we do a little deep sea fishing, huh, Rollins?
I have never fished from a submarine, Mr. Andrews.
Sorry, gentlemen. No fishing. This is not a pleasure cruise.
That's the stuff, Skipper. Business before pleasure.
And I agree, sir. You will leave the bridge now.
Why, what's wrong?
Nothing, sir. We are getting ready to submerge.
What are you talking about? Submerge? On whose orders?
My orders, Mr. Andrews.
Nothing doing. That's against regulations, and you know it. This trip is to be made on the surface unless there's an emergency.
Clear diving rudders.
Diving rudders clear, sir.
Did you hear what I said?
Ready the tanks.
Tank standing by, sir.
That's enough, Sabatos. You know what the orders are. I'm not going to allow you...
I must inform you, sir, that I am in sole command of the Seagull. I shall surrender her to no one but her rightful owner, my country.
Your country? You've got no country. It's a satellite.
Then I shall sail the seas until I have one again.
You know what you're saying? That's piracy.
Then, Mr. Andrews, I shall be a pirate, shan't I? Clear the deck. Diving stations.
Diving stations.
Out of your mind.
Passengers below, please. Now that's an order, Mr. Andrews.
Standing by, sir.
Well, I'd found my story. When we slipped beneath the surface of the North Sea, the captain let the men have rum and brandy to celebrate the Seagull's return to what he called active duty.
He's crazy. He's gone stark raving crazy. Look at the crew that madman picked himself. Well, we'll see about this. Hey, Bosun! Bosun! Come over here. Know how to handle this ship?
I know my job, sir. How'd you like a bonus? Say $1,000. I'd like it fine, sir.
All right. Take over. Never mind the captain. I'll back you up.
I'm sorry, sir. He's my captain.
I'm in charge of this ship. He's under my orders.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir. I'm under his orders.
That's how it went with the rest of the crew. They were all men without a country, handpicked by the captain, fanatically devoted to their master and the ship that was their world. In the meantime, I noticed some activity on the part of the captain and his radio operator. A constant flow of communications between the ship's wireless and her master's tiny cabin. Andrews and I went there. The captain was sitting on the bunk, poring over a chart-filled table.
Mind if you and I have a little talk? I'm quite busy. 5 minutes, Mr. Andrews. Thank you.
Don't you think this farce has gone far enough? You'll be running out of supplies, you know, and then what?
The sea is abundant with stores of all kinds, Mr. Andrews.
How do you mean?
I shall requisition what I need.
You can't be serious.
Can't I? I have guns, fore and aft, shells to go with them. Give me time, I shall obtain torpedoes as well.
You'll never get away with this.
That remains to be seen. My wireless has picked up the Blenheim Castle, an English freighter. We will sight her by nightfall.
You're going to stop her?
Exactly, Mr. Andrews. There are a few supplies that we need. I am sure her captain will oblige before continuing on his way.
We will return to Escape in just a moment. But first, maybe it rained where you are today. The United States is pretty big, and it's hard for somebody on a coast-to-coast network to keep track of the weather everywhere. But even if they did, remember, it's been a very dry summer. The danger of forest fires is on every hand. Please be careful with those campfires those cigarettes, those lighted matches. And now, back to Escape.
Approximately 8 hours later, the bosun's pipe shrilled as the Seagull rose stealthily to the ocean surface. Dead ahead in a choppy sea loomed the massive hull of the freighter Blenheim Castle, her foaming nose eerily phosphorescent, the position lights glimmering across the sea. Our searchlight reached up to her bridge with a long white finger. We clearly made out the tanker's captain standing on his bridge in a splotch of white glare, bellowing through a megaphone.
Hey! Ho, 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 ho! Heave to! Coming alongside! Who are you? Raider! Pass the line! Raider! I won't pass a cowtail! Where's the war? It is starting now! That's a bloody lie! Heave away! Ready above, or you will be sunk! Why, you kettle-bottom, knock-down half-finger! I'll bust the cat crunch in the main water! Follow my orders, or I open fire! Why don't you back up and cook off? I give you 3 minutes. I'll give you a kick in the belly!
It was incredible. Here we were at peace, and Captain Zabatos had started his own private war. He had the guns, and the tanker's captain had only his ship. Before the Seagull's gun crew could get a bearing, the tanker lurched forward, picking up speed. Wheeled hard over, bent on ramming us. Our guns started to fire, blasting away at the tanker. But it kept coming on. Closer, closer. The sharp bow cutting through the choppy sea.
Dive! Dive! Dive!
We weren't fast enough. There was a grinding lurch, and we knew the Seagull had been damaged in the collision with the freighter, but we couldn't tell how badly. The first realization of disaster came when we saw the captain, his hair damp with perspiration, eyes gleaming feverishly, and a face turned ashen gray.
Nobody leaves his station without my orders. You gentlemen stay out of the way.
I'm not going to take orders from you or anybody else. I represent the owners of this ship.
You do?
You heard me, Zabatos.
Then tell your owner she has been rammed.
I'll hold you responsible.
As her commander, I accept sole responsibility for ship and crew, including you and Mr. Rollins.
That's very noble, mister, but I'm a businessman. What's the extent of the damage?
Conning tower smashed and the scope tube cracked.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Well, surface, send an SOS.
I never have sent an SOS, and I never will.
That's your business. I'm an American citizen, and so is Mr. Rollins. You can't hold us against our...
You will be put ashore when conditions are favorable.
Let me set you straight about this. If you want to go down in misery, I'm not stopping you. But you can't force me to stick around until this tin can's full of holes. I want to get out of here. I order you for the last time surface to signal for help.
Andrews, if you wish to leave now, you may take a escape hatch.
You're crazy.
Not at all. The damage is trifling. But since you feel so frightened of your life, I suggest that you leave.
So help me, when we get out of this, I'm going to have you busted, jailed, hung if I can.
Get out of my way if you please. I have no time to discuss the matter with you.
Come on, Andrews.
Whose side are you on, anyway, Rollins?
Nobody's. I just want to live. The hours passed slowly at the ocean bottom. The stillness echoing the attempts of the men working to repair the damage. The air was getting foul, breathing becoming more difficult.
Storage battery, storage, sir.
Then dim the lights, bosun.
Oxygen's running low.
Ration it.
I've got 2 men in sick bay already.
All right. All right. Carry on.
Sir.
What is it, bosun?
The men need air. It's very bad aft. All right, very well, Bosun. We go up. All engines ready.
All engines ready, sir.
Clear pressure tanks.
Clearing tank, sir.
Diving rudder. Standard.
Vessels approaching overhead, sir.
Ease rudder, hold tanks. Don't answer.
British subjects are closing in, sir. Request ship-to-ship communication.
All right. I talked with them. Stand by.
SS Seagull coming in. Go ahead. NS-127.
Are you in trouble, Seagull? No trouble, sir. Surface at once. State your conditions. No. Then I regretfully refuse, sir.
Following orders, Seagull. Come up, or we drop depth charges.
Do so, then.
You can't get away. We've got a sonar fix on you.
No surrender.
We're ready with depth charges, Seagull.
Wait! Get back!
Americans down here! We need hot communications!
The first depth charge was a warning, followed by another coming closer. Still closer. The pressure was enormous. The ship rocked from bow to stern and started to take water.
All engines ahead full!
All engines ahead full, sir.
Course 02, standard.
Course 02, standard, sir.
Oh, quiet, Captain. This is wrong. It can't help now.
Stand out of my way, Mr. Rawlins.
You're a naval officer, not a murderer. Your ship is finished. You have no right to kill your crew. And that's what it's going to mean if you don't stop.
This is my ship. My life. No, you don't understand.
It's still murder.
Standing by for your order, sir.
Well, what are you going to do?
Oh. Surface.
Surface!
Surface! Stand by, surface!
No response, sir. Tanks won't operate.
All engines stop!
All engines stop!
Now what?
I seem to have no choice. Do I? Stand by to abandon ship.
Abandon ship!
That was almost the end of it. The sub couldn't get up to the surface. She could only go down. And the way she was taking water, it wasn't going to be long. The men lined up outside the escape chamber. And one by one, they shook hands with the captain as they moved by. You could see in his eyes what they meant to him. And in their low voices, their feelings for him.
Goodbye, Captain. Goodbye, sir. Goodbye, Captain.
Goodbye, Captain.
Goodbye, sir.
Then it was Andrew's turn to go.
The bosun is in the lock. He will give you instructions as to how to get to the surface.
I lived through this, Apollos. I'm going to see
I know. I am sorry for the discomfort you have been caused. Goodbye, Mr. Andrews. Coming, Rollins?
Sure. You go ahead. One at a time, you know.
Well, good luck.
And to you.
Now, Mr. Owens, huh? I imagine you will have quite a story to write for your newspaper.
Well, let's forget that. It's not important. What about you? Andrews isn't kidding, you know. Once you get up there...
I wonder, would you do me one last service?
Of course. He got his log out and started to write. I looked over his shoulder as he made his last entry. All men off ship. Strong list to port. Storage batteries 0. Oxygen 20. Ship secure. Signed Captain Jan Zabatos. Commander SS Seagull.
You oblige me by taking this log up with you. It can be fastened to your belt.
Well, why don't you carry it?
There are one or two other things I must have with me.
Now, look.
No, Mr. Owens, go on. I will follow you.
Yes,
please go on.
Okay. Hurry up, though, will you? She won't last long. I got up to the surface. A boat from the sub-chaser picked me up 5 minutes later. Every man of the crew and Andrews was safe. After that, we cruised about for hours, waiting, hoping that Zabatos would appear. But he didn't. I should have known he'd stay with the Seagull. The skipper of the chaser understood what had happened a lot better after he'd read the log. I guess seamen have a feeling about such things. Well, that's the story. That's all there is to it.
Under the direction of Anthony Ellis, Escape has brought you The Log, a story by Marianne Mosner and Francis Rosenwald, starring Lawrence Dobkin and Byron Kane. Featured in the cast were Alan Reed, Kurt Martell, Frank Gerstle, Eric Snowden, Richard Peel, and Jim Nesser. The special music for Escape was composed and conducted by Leith Stevens. Next week.
You are walking the streets of an Indian city. Terrifying, sweltering streets. While the man you fear has already made his mark on you. A mark from which there can be no escape.
So listen next week, when Escape will bring you James Henderson's frightening story, The Untouchable. I Confess is the graphic title of tomorrow night's Lux Radio Theater film play adaptation. Cary Grant and Phyllis Thaxter co-star. You'll remember I Confess as one of Alfred Hitchcock's most suspenseful thrillers, and you'll enjoy every minute of it on most of these same stations tomorrow night when CBS Radio presents the Lux Radio Theater. This is Roy Rowan speaking. Remember, you can hear Jack Benny every Sunday night on the CBS Radio Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to Bunko Fugitive Detail. A man tells you he's been taken for a large sum of money. He thinks it was a swindle. Your job, run it down.
The documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Monday, September 12th. It was hot in Los Angeles. We were working a day watch out of Bunko Fugitive Detail. My partner is Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Gideon. My name's Friday. I was on my way back from communications, and it was 2:17 p.m. when I got to room 38. Bunko Fugitive.
Oh, hi, Joe.
Oh, yeah. I get it. Bunko Fugitive, Friday. Yes, that's right. Mm-hmm. Well, when'd you see him last? Well, how much was it? How much? Mm-hmm. All right, sir. We'll be here. Well, right away if I were you. All right, fine. Fellow's coming in to talk to us.
Yeah?
Says he gave a friend of his $40,000.
Oh.
Kind of broke up their friendship.
What do you mean?
The guy skipped out. 2:42 p.m. The man who had telephoned came into the office. He told us that his name was Jeff Craner. He said he had a real estate business on Wilshire Boulevard and that his home residence was on Rossmore near Olympic. He also said that on the previous Tuesday he had given $40,000 to a man who called himself Philip Bonham.
You know where this fellow Bonham lives, Mr. Craner?
I know where he used to live.
Where's that?
Our apartment out in Westwood. Real fancy, beams, ceilings, lots of glass, swimming pool, the whole works.
He's not there anymore, huh?
Well, manager of the building says he moved last Tuesday. The day I gave Phil the money.
Who's they?
Phil and his brother had the place together.
What's the brother's name?
Steve.
Does the manager have any idea where they went?
Well, claims he didn't leave any forwarding address, just shoved off.
How long have you known the Bonhams, Mr. Craner?
6 or 8 weeks.
How'd you happen to meet up?
Through a friend, a mutual friend.
What would you tell us about it?
Well, it's not going to come out, is it? Newspapers, anything like that?
Well, how do you mean?
Well, you see, I'm married.
Yeah.
Now, we haven't been getting along so well for the last year or so, but I'm still married.
Mm-hmm.
The way I met up with the Bonhams, you see, it was through a girl.
Yeah. What was her name?
Barbara Whist.
Who's she?
Oh, just a girl, that's all. Maybe she was in on it, too. I don't know. Anyway, she introduced me to him.
About how long have you known her?
Oh, about 3 months, maybe, a few weeks before I met them.
I see.
We got acquainted at an auction. One of those houses out on Beverly Boulevard where they sell off furniture and things from movie stars' houses.
Mm-hmm.
Used to spend a lot of my free evenings at those auctions. Wasn't any point in staying home, not my wife feeling towards me the way she does. I didn't buy much, just a piece every once in a while. It looked like a bargain.
And that's where you met this woman, huh?
Yes.
Where was she living, do you know?
Had a room at a hotel in Hollywood, the Count George.
Mm-hmm. So go ahead, Mr. Craner. What happened next?
Well, we got to be pretty good friends, and one night she offered to put me in touch with a couple of guys she knew who said they were interested in buying some real estate and that I might as well handle the deal. Well, that's how I met up with the Bonhams.
Yes, sir.
We went out to their apartment. They're having a little party. A couple more girls were there. On a Friday night, I guess we all got kind of loaded. Next thing I knew, we were all flying down to Vegas for the weekend. Well, we sure had quite a time for ourselves. Stopped at one of the best hotels, Chateau Lafayette. Everybody making a big fuss like the Bonhams were VIPs.
Yeah.
After that, we had some deals together. Most of them worked out. Whenever they didn't, the Bonhams took care of me anyhow.
What kind of deals? Mr. Craner?
I guess maybe they weren't, well, strictly ethical, but there wasn't anything illegal about it.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to cut a couple of corners if you're going to get ahead in this world.
Is that right?
I'm getting a little tired of this, Sergeant.
Sir?
You act like I'm at fault, like I'm the one who's in the wrong. Now, you remember it was me that got swindled in $40,000 worth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the criminal, you know. They are.
Sure. You want to tell us about the 40,000, Mr. Trainor?
If you're all through with these accusations.
Go ahead, Mr. Trainor.
All right. It was last Tuesday. Phil Bonham called me at my office. Said he had to see me right away about a proposition, a really big one.
Mm-hmm.
We met for lunch. Bonham said they'd just had word from one of their contacts in Las Vegas. A couple of Eastern gamblers had tapped the casino of the Chateau Lafayette for $250,000.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the Chateau needed some money, and they needed it fast. So the owners were willing to sell a 5% interest in the hotel for $100,000. Now, Phil said it was a cinch that we'd get our investment back inside of 6 months, and from then on, it was just gravy. Everybody knows how much those hotels in Las Vegas make.
So you gave him the money?
Yes, I drew it out of the bank that afternoon. Had to be in cash.
Did you know the denominations of the bills?
They were all hundreds.
Mm-hmm. What happened then?
I went back to the office, and the Bonhams took off for Las Vegas. At least that's what they were supposed to do. They said they'd call me from there. But when I still hadn't heard anything by Friday, I went over to their apartment and talked to the manager. He said they'd moved out Tuesday at 5 p.m.
Why didn't you get in touch with us then?
They didn't seem like crooks, not a bit.
What were they like?
Well, what?
Would you describe them for us?
Well, Philip's the oldest. He's about 45.
Mm-hmm.
Light hair, complexion.
How big is he?
Tall, about 6-foot man. Thin, sort of rangy.
Mm. What about his brother?
Oh, Steve's maybe 3 or 4 years younger. A little shorter, not much though. A little heavier.
What color is his hair?
Reddish, kind.
The girl who introduced you to him, you said her name was Barbara Wist?
Yes, that's right.
How do you spell that?
W-I-S-T.
You want to describe her, too?
Well, it's pretty hard to say how old she is. I'm not very good at judging a woman's age.
Well, approximately, then.
Oh, 28, 29... 30, could even be 35.
Mm-hmm.
Blonde, real white streak across the front, very attractive. Good company, nice build. Well, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Have you tried to get in touch with her since you saw the Bonhams last?
Yes, I called a hotel.
Well?
She moved out last Thursday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how are you supposed to know?
What?
Well, who to trust? They were so darn nice to me, the Bonhams and Barbara. There wasn't any way of figuring that what they were after. They, like you say, that they were just kind of setting me up.
Mm-hmm. But you had a tip-off.
Yes? Well, when?
When you thought you were getting something for nothing. 3:08 p.m. We ran the names Philip and Steve Bonham and Barbara Wist through R&I. They had nothing on them. We went back to the office and showed the victim mug shots of known confidence men. He was unable to identify any of the photographs. 3:32 p.m. We showed him mugs of confidence women.
No, not on that page, Sergeant.
Uh-huh.
Sergeant? My wife won't find out about all this, will she?
Not from us.
We haven't been getting along for quite a while, but, well, you know, she just wouldn't understand.
Mm-hmm.
Funny, aren't they?
How's that?
Women, even if they won't have anything to do with you themselves, they just don't want another day moving in.
Want to go on to the next page?
Oh, yeah, sure. Say now.
Yeah?
That looks like her.
Well, is it?
No, I guess not. There's something different there. Sure is a resemblance, though.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody on this page. Now, wait a minute. That was her.
Where?
Here, right here, the one I pointed out before.
Oh, I see.
That's Barbara, all right there.
You said there was something different about this woman, didn't you?
Well, there is, but now that I think about it, any gal's apt to do that.
Do what?
Dye his hair.
The victim was positive in his identification of the photograph. Frank and I pulled the woman's package. Her true name was Mabel Salton, WFA, 36 years old, 5 feet 4, weighed 117 pounds, blue eyes, brunette hair. Her record showed 2 convictions for grand theft and an arrest for suspicion of theft the previous June. 4:15 p.m. We talked to Johnny DeBetta, the officer who had made the June arrest.
Yeah, that's right, Joe. Van and I pulled her in. We couldn't make it stick, though.
Why not?
Well, the victim gave us an ident, but we didn't have enough to hold her on.
All she did was introduce the mark to a couple of con men. They did the taking.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't prove that she was in on it. The sucker hadn't given her the money.
Yeah. Wouldn't cop out either.
She's a looker, not a talker. I'd rather tackle a guy anytime with a dame like that. Once you decide to keep her mouth shut, you can't get it open with a pair of pliers.
What about the guy she was working with?
A couple of brothers. Don't remember the names they used offhand. It's in the file, so.
Any leads to him?
Description, M.O. We put out a local and APB. We couldn't turn them up, though. They must have skipped town. I see. They had a tail for a while, see if she'd lead us to them. Nowhere. That's where we ended up. They back in L.A.? They were last week. Make another pigeon? Yeah. And I hope you have better luck than we did. We're going to need it. If they've moved on, it won't be very easy to catch up with. Sure. They got a lot of traveling money. Oh, yeah? $40,000. Frank and I put out a local and an APB on the two male suspects. We also put out a bulletin on the female suspect, Mabel Salton. But we requested that in her case, no arrest be made. We asked to be contacted in the event that she was located. From Johnny DeBetta, we learned that the Salton woman had also met the previous victim at an auction. Auctioneers and owners of auction houses were told to notify us if they saw the suspect. We talked to the manager of the apartment where the male suspects had lived and to check the clerk at the Count George Hotel. They were unable to help us. We contacted Las Vegas and learned that the Chateau Lafayette was in excellent financial condition. We also contacted CII up at Sacramento to see if they could give us an identification of the male suspects. We received a negative response. No new leads developed. 5 weeks passed. Wednesday, October 19th, 9:46 a.m. Bunko fugitive Friday. Yes, sir. That's right. When? I see. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Tencher Auction House out on 3rd Street.
Yeah?
Auctioneer says he sold a couple of lamps to an old customer last night.
Who?
Mabel Salton. A.m. Frank and I drove out to the Tencher Auction Gallery on West 3rd. We showed the auctioneer a mugshot of Mabel Salton, and he said he was positive she was the woman he had seen the previous night. We went back to the office and had a conference with the skipper.
You're sure picking her up won't do any good?
Well, I didn't before, Captain.
Yeah.
Of course, this might not work either. We don't even know if her pals are back in town.
Well, how do you plan to make the contact?
Hang out at auctions, do a lot of bidding, let her think I'm loaded.
I don't know. May it be better if Smith went undercover this time. He looks more like a mark to me.
Well, wait a minute, Skipper.
Oh, you know what I mean.
Well, I know. I'm afraid using Smith would give us a problem, Captain.
Yeah.
Take another look at her picture.
Not bad, is she?
No, that's the trouble. Smith's got a wife. Arrangements were made for me to assume the name of Joe Fawcett. I took a room at a hotel in Hollywood and established myself as a businessman recently arrived from Chicago. Auction houses were told that I would be bidding on various items, and if my bid was accepted, the item was to be re-auctioned at some future date, and any loss incurred would be made good. During the next week, I attended 4 auctions. The woman suspect, Mabel Salton, was present at 2 of them. Thursday, October 27th, 9:42 p.m., I attended the 5th auction. It was at the Tencher Galleries. I managed to get a seat next to the suspect.
I have $45. I have $25. Who'll make it 30? Who'll make it 30? Come on, ladies and gentlemen. A mirror like this costs over $100 in any retail store. 25. Who'll give 30?
30.
Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, this mirror belongs to one of America's most glamorous actresses, Miss Nora Westcliff. You've all seen her dozens of times on the screen. Here's your chance to buy one of her personal possessions. And don't forget where this mirror was hung. In Nora's bedroom. All right, now who'll make it 30? I have 25. Who'll give 30?
30 here.
Thank you, sir. There's a gentleman who appreciates the finer things. I have 30. I have 30. Going once, that's 30.
35.
35 who'll give 40. 35 who'll give 40. How about it, sir? Don't let the little lady take it away from you.
If you really want it, it doesn't matter that much to me.
Well, that's very kind of you.
Are you all done? 35 once, 35 twice. So the lady for 35. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our next item is a very unusual piece. It was designed as
Thanks for letting my bid stand.
That's all right. Forget it.
Is there any way I can pay you back? Maybe you'd let me buy you a drink after the auction.
No, that isn't necessary. I didn't really want that mirror anyway.
I'd like to. Unless you're busy.
No, not a bit. You got a customer.
Now, you see how hard it is for them to lift it? Shows you the quality of the model. All right, boys, better set it down now again before you string it out.
Haven't you done some of the other sales?
A couple of them, yeah.
I thought you looked familiar. Come to think of it, I remember the things you bought.
Is that right?
Yeah, very good taste.
Thank you.
Magnificent center of attention. This is the table for you. The lace is on his back.
I just love these auctions. Of course, I always end up buying a lot of things I don't need.
Well, that happens to me, too.
And then afterwards, you feel so darn foolish that there's nothing you can do. By then, it's too late.
Yeah, same here.
Well, that's true. If he's properly treated first. But this table will never show a stain no matter what you
Yes, we have something in common, don't we, Mr.
I'm quoting Mr.
Joe Fawcett.
I'm Mona Eastman.
How do you do?
Very nice to meet you, Mr. Fawcett.
No, the pleasure's all mine. 11:16 p.m. We left the auction and drove over to the suspect's apartment. It was on the second floor of a two-story building just off Olympic Boulevard.
Bar's right over there, Joe. You'll take charge when I get out of my coat.
You bet. Scotch or bourbon?
It doesn't matter. Whatever you're having.
Hey.
Is the ice all melted?
No, there's a little left here.
That's good. I'm really awfully glad you could drop by.
So am I. Where's your drink?
Oh, thanks. Well, cheers.
Cheers. Strong enough for you?
That's just the way I like it. Why don't you sit down?
Sure.
Where's your home, Joe?
Well, I really don't have one yet.
Oh?
I got a hotel room over in Hollywood. I've been staying there for the last few days.
What about all these things you've been buying? The auction?
Oh, they're all for my new place. It hasn't come out of escrow yet.
I see.
It's out in Bel Air. Wish they'd hurry up and let me move in. For all I know, I may be getting too much stuff. I don't know what you need to furnish your house.
Well, isn't your wife?
Oh, I'm not married, Mona. Not anymore.
Oh, I see.
We broke up about a year ago.
Funny.
What's that?
That's when it happened to me. Just a year ago.
Is that so?
Maybe we have a little too much in common.
Yeah.
She hurt you, didn't she, Joe?
Well...
I can see it in your eyes. You have very sad eyes. And soft and thoughtful.
Oh, I don't know.
I think you can tell a lot about a person from your eyes.
You do, huh?
That's the first thing I notice about somebody. What do you notice, Joe?
Well, I guess I never thought too much about it, to tell you the truth.
What'd you notice first with me? Well?
Well, I guess it was your voice.
Oh?
You know, when you were bidding, I think that's what I noticed first.
I don't know whether that's a compliment or not.
Well, you have a very pleasant voice, Mona. Very pleasant.
George didn't think so.
Who?
My husband.
Oh.
He said I whined and nagged and made life miserable for him. Why'd you split up?
Just didn't work out.
You think you'll ever try it again?
Oh, I don't know. It's pretty hard to say.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Well, I guess lots of people make mistakes.
Yeah, sure.
You need a freshener?
No, I have plenty here. Fix you up?
Yes, please. You don't drink very much, do you?
No, I just don't feel like it tonight.
No. Is it the company?
No, of course not.
I'm sorry if I, sort of forced you into taking me home.
Why, don't be silly.
I just felt that... Well, you didn't look very happy, and I thought maybe we both needed to be with someone else for a change.
Sure. Yeah.
Thanks. What line are you in, Joe?
What's that?
What's your business?
Well, nothing right now. I guess you might say I'm unemployed.
What?
I had a company of my own back in Chicago, textile manufacturing. I sold it when we split up.
What are you going to do now?
Oh, I'm sort of looking around. I got a little cash enough to get by on.
Oh?
If the right thing turns up, I guess I might go into it.
I suppose it's hard to tell what to put your money into nowadays.
Yeah, well, there's no hurry.
You know, that reminds me. If you really do want to get into something good,
yeah,
I know a couple of businessmen. Oh, they're not close friends or anything like that, but they have some excellent contacts.
Is that so?
I'm sure they could put you into something that would give you a nice return on your investment.
Well, it wouldn't do any harm to talk to them, would it?
I'm afraid you can't right now.
Why not?
They're out of town. Too bad, isn't it?
Yeah, sure is. The Salton woman told me she'd let me know as soon as her friends returned to Los Angeles. During the next 10 days, I saw her on several occasions. As far as I could tell, the so-called Bonham brothers were still out of town. Tuesday, November 8th, 8:40 p.m. I was in my hotel room. Hello? Yes, Mama. Well, how about tonight? Sure, I'll pick you up. About 9:30? Fine. Bye. You want to get me Michigan 5211, please? That's right. Extension 2572. That's right. Extension 2572. Smith there? This is Joe. Yeah, I just heard from her. Better get hold of Tibet and have him stand by. Tonight. Says they just blew into town. Over the phone, the Salton woman had told me her two business acquaintances had returned to Los Angeles. I was to meet them that night. Frank and Johnny Tibet made arrangements to tail my car. 9:28 p.m. I picked up the female suspect. She told me her friends had rooms in the St. Clair Hotel over on Figueroa. We drove over there. It was 9:42 when we arrived. We went up to room 417. She introduced me to two men who matched the description of the male suspects we were looking for. They said their names were Tom and Fred Porst.
Sure is nice to meet you, Mr. Fawcett. Mona's been telling us about you. It seems you've made quite a hit with her.
Is that so? She told me about you fellas, too.
Now you've got to understand one thing.
What's that?
Anything we discuss in the business line, that is, well, it's got to be confidential.
Well, sure.
You see, my brother and I, we don't make a practice of taking outside investments, right, Fred?
Right.
Matter of fact, we don't even need any outside capital at the moment. We've sort of got a surplus.
Oh, I see. Well, maybe some other time then, huh? Nice to have met you.
What's your hurry, Fawcett?
Well, you said that...
I said we don't need any capital.
You know.
Well, we might make an exception in your case, though.
Oh?
On account of Mona.
Well, I don't want you to put yourselves out. Something else will turn up.
Now, wait a minute. I was just thinking.
What's that?
Well, it never hurts to spread a good thing around. You got any plans for this Saturday?
Well, I don't know. What do you have in mind?
Well, I thought we might fly down to Vegas. Get us a couple of girls. You can bring along Mona.
Why Vegas?
Oh, we got a friend down there. He made a killing at the crap tables a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Stuck it in $1,000 bill.
Oh?
Now, he sort of forgot to mention it on his income tax, and now he could use the loot, but he's afraid to cash in the bills himself.
Yeah, I see.
He might be willing to sell them to us at a discount. You interested?
No, not very.
Why not?
An old con game like that?
What?
Was this the best you can do? The $1,000 bill routine's got whiskers on it. I should have known.
What are you talking about? How would you know? Listen, Fawcett, what are you doing here anyway? Why'd you want to meet us?
I was kind of curious about how you boys work. I heard a lot about you.
Huh?
Thought maybe I could pick up a new angle or two. Looks like I was wrong.
Well, what's the show? Oh, don't you see? He was just checking up on our pitch.
Yeah?
Well, he's a con man, too. Oh, you really pulled one this time, Mona, picking a pro for a mark.
How was I supposed to know?
Well, just one look. You should have been able to tell Platus and those on your face.
It is, huh?
Sure. Don't take it to heart, buddy. You might fool the suckers, but I'm in the same racket. Well, I should have guessed it when you walked in the door. It's written all over you.
Yeah.
Where you been pitching lately?
City Hall.
Huh?
I'm a police officer. You're under arrest.
The story you've just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On February 2nd, trial was held in Department 98, Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. In a moment, the results of that trial. Mabel Harris Salton was tried and convicted of grand theft, 1 count, and received sentence as prescribed by law. Thomas Herbert Porst and Fred James Porst, alias Philip and Steve Bonham, were tried and convicted of grand theft, 2 counts, and received sentence as prescribed by law. Grand theft is punishable by imprisonment in the county jail for not more than 1 year, or in the state prison for not less than 1, nor more than 10 years.
The following is transcribed.
No, it isn't.
The following is transcribed.
No, it isn't.
Oh, yes, it is.
It is not.
Yes, it is.
It is not.
It is, too.
It is not.
It is.
It isn't.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
The following is not transcribed.
This week, the Major League Baseball season opened. In keeping with this, the American Broadcasting Company brings you the first foul ball of the season. It's the Jack Webb Show in its 5th consecutive strikeout. Nothing new has been added. The Raggedaires will play tonight, but without their director, Phil Bavero, who only confused the men anyway. That spiritual singer, Clancy Hayes, of the firm of Haig and Haig and Hayes, will conduct his usual contest with the orchestra. She's young, she's pretty, she sings. That's 3 runs for our side, vocalist Nora McNamara. John Galbraith, an Oakland boy, and the only argument we can think of against the Bay Bridge, will play rats and second lieutenants and spooky people, and, oh yes, a wonderful gal with a wonderful voice has made a terrible mistake tonight. Midge Williams has agreed to set a career back 10 years with a guest appearance on the Jack Webb Show. My name is Jordan, and I'm going to find a nice, quiet room until this thing blows over. Why don't you do the same?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are all our listeners out there? Both of you. John Galbraith, put your glasses on so you can find the microphone and come on over here, will you?
Oh, Jack, my, boy, that's certainly a healthy crop of freckles you picked up in the San Francisco sunshine.
What do you mean, freckles? Those are the holes in the microphone. Put them on, will you?
Yeah. Hey, but of course, how stupid of me, Jack. Your head doesn't say ABC on it, does it?
Neither do yours, John. Don't we have a grand studio audience here tonight, John? Do you know who these boys are?
Who are the girls?
Finally got those... Oh, you finally got those glasses on, huh, John? Well, these men are 200 Army patients from Letterman General Hospital here in San Francisco. And most of them have only been in this country 4 days. Some of them even 1 day.
Jack, who are the girls?
I think we ought to have some ruffles and flourishes for the generals here tonight.
Who are the girls?
Welcome home, generals.
Who are the girls?
The girls, John. Oh, say. Yes. There's 75 hostesses from the Oak Street USO.
Aren't they, though?
Yeah, well, I guess we ought to have some ruffles and flourishes for them, too, you know?
Yeah.
They've already got the ruffles. Let's just have the flourishes, shall we? That is the first time that those guys have ever gotten together since we went on the air. I don't...
Presenting...
A page torn from the private files of Slim Slade, Western band leader.
We return to the little western town of Howdyville, where a group of citizens are talking. Howdyville, nobody quite knows how it got its name.
Howdy.
Slim Slade, just a poor old cowpoke out on the plains of Howdyville.
Hey, Slim, what you doing outside?
Oh, just poking around the cows.
Well, come on over here. Got a letter for you with a city writing on it.
Letter with city writing. Didn't know nobody I knowed could write. Don't make no difference, though. I can't read.
Well, you don't have to, Slim. I done read it.
Oh, what do it say?
Oh, it don't say nothing, Slim. It's just a letter.
Well, I don't mean talk say. I mean read say.
Well, why don't you talk, say what you mean say?
Yeah.
It's from your brother.
Oh, that's Slick.
That's right. Signed Slick Slade.
Wait a minute. Wait just a minute. I'm going to get the boys. Hey, Weasel, Fox, and Snake. Sounds like a zoo, don't it? Come on over here, boys. Hey, anybody seen Enchilada Gomez?
See, Slade, I'm over here taking a little fiesta.
That's siesta.
See.
Come on over here, boys.
Well, howdy, Slim. Howdy.
Howdy. Say, I got a letter from my brother in Hawaii.
Slim, I believe that's pronounced Hawaii.
Oh, yeah. I never was much good in them European names.
Well, go ahead, Weasel. Here's the letter.
Yeah, Weasel, what do it say?
Why, don't say nothing, Slim. It's just a letter.
Well, I don't mean talk say. I mean read say.
Why don't you talk say what you mean say? It's from your brother.
Daggone, I know that.
Well, the letter says...
I thought you...
Quiet, Slim. Dear friend brother, I'm making lots of money. I never knowed when I left Fort Worth there was so doggone much money in the world. I'm making lots of money.
Doggone, brother.
Doggone, brother. Money's one thing I got plenty of. Like Ma said, money can't buy friends. But who wants friends when you got this much money?
Doggone, brother, sure must have struck it rich.
Doggone, brother, I sure struck it rich. I'm making plenty of money. I got myself a Western band, and we play Western music.
That's a novelty.
And we're all making lots of money over here in Hawaii. We call the Western band Slick Slade and his Hilo Monsters. That is all for now on account of I have run out of gold paper which I write on, and besides, my 24-carat diamond pen point done busted. Your friend, your brother, Slick. P.S. I sure am making lots of money.
Brother Slick is right. We're going to do the same thing. We're all going to organize a Western band.
Good idea, Slim.
See, Slade, I think we better do it banana.
That's manana.
See.
Come on, saddle up, boys. We're going to ride to New York. I'm going to write the tunes on the way. All right, boys, come on, move in. We're going to rehearse a spell. Now, here's a tune I wrote. Music and notes by me. It's called, this will kill you, When It's Apple Blossom Time in Fort Worth.
Oh, that's awful pretty, Slim.
Yeah, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's play it through once. You ready on the drums, Enchilada? I want plenty of drums in this. All right, you ready, boys? Here we go. Play it just like she was wrote. Everybody set?
Hey, Slim, what's all these little black spots all over this paper?
I was wondering about that, too, Slim. Seems to me you could have got clean paper. Well, you know, as long as you was a-paying for it.
Them's notes. Them's what you play.
Oh, excuse me.
Now, come on. Here we go. I'm going to count 3. Are you ready? Put her in half. I'll stomp my foot 3 times. Get set now. It's going to come fast. You got to be ready. Let's play it just like she was wrote. Don't leave nothing out. It's all good. If you get lost, keep it going. Don't go straggling all over this song like a doggy. Come on. Relax. Tighten up. Smile. Frown, because you're going to enjoy this one. Steady in the saddle. I'm a-counting. 1, 2. Hold it, boys. I better tell you. We're going to start this number on 3. You got that, boys, or you want to write it down? Here we go. 1, 2. Hold it. I guess I better announce our name just like we're going to do it uptown. Present Slim Slade and his Makes You Want to Dance when they're playing a hoedown and just sit down and cry when they're playing a sad one. Western Band. You think that name's too long? Well, all right, here we go. Real down-to-earth music right out of the dirt. Put her in half. Well, let's go. 1, 2, hit it. No, I forgot I was supposed to say the number 3. Hold it, boys, hold it. Hold it. You done right good on that one. You done right good on When It's Apple Blossom Time in Fort Worth. Now, I got another one I want to try. Music and notes by me. It's called Horsefly Pie and Apple Pan Howdy. All right, boys. 1, 2, kick it. Oh, going. I always forget to say 3. Hold it. That's mighty pretty, ain't it? Which one of those you like the best? Well, never mind. I got another one here I want to try. Music and notes by me. This is a sad one, boys. It's a prison song. It's called I Might As Well Be Sprung. Okay, let's do her. 1, 2, take her. Now, why didn't I say 3? Hold it. Boys, I gotta say you sure are versatile. Them 3 are the prettiest tunes I ever did hear. Now, I think we're all ready to go. But before we do, I got one more tune I'd like to try. Music and notes by me. I call this one Bang, Bang, Bang Went My 6-Gun. That's pretty, ain't it? Kind of nostalgic. All right, boys. 1, 2, play it. Now, what happened to 3?
Slim Slade and his Western Band. First it's the Pennsylvania roof, then the Wedgwood room of the Waldorf, Carnegie Hall, millions of phonograph records, radio coast to coast. Yes, Slim Slade and his band had arrived on the musical scene. And then, one day, disaster.
Boys, I got sad news. They tied the can to us. We're through. We've been fired plumb out of New York.
Oh, what's the trouble, Slim?
Well, the manager of that there radio station told me tonight that we wasn't versatile enough. Said all our tunes sounded alike. I don't know how he figured that. We got 47 tunes, all of them got different names. Music and notes by me. Come on, boys, pick up your instruments. Let's play a couple of them numbers and see what that fella's talking about. All right, the go down, hold down. That's good. Hey, wait a minute. Hold it just a minute. Them drums ain't quite loud enough, Enchilada. A little of that melody sneaked through in one place. Okay, more drums this time, and let's hear the Gila Monster Waltz. Okay. Now I want to hear one more. I want to hear Oh, You Beautiful Texas. This is pretty. I like it. All right, now listen. Now let's go back. Let's do a little reviewing. Let's go way back. Let's hear our first hit. The tune that brung us here. When It's Apple Blossom Time in Fort Worth. Okay, boys. Oh, that fella don't know what he's talking about. Them's 4 of the prettiest tunes I ever heard. But we're going back to Texas. I'm plumb played out. I ain't got another tune in me. I'm just like that fella Irvine Berlin. Only he's got someone to help him with them lyrics. I got to write the notes myself. Saddle up, boys. We're all through. We're going back to poking cows. If we stay here any longer, we're going to get in a rut.
Sure is good being back in Texas, ain't it?
Yeah, I don't miss that Pennsylvania roof none. Fella by the name of Benny Goodman done moved in after us.
Who's he?
Oh, here comes Slim now. Well, howdy, Slim Slade. Howdy.
Saddle up, boys. We're going back to New York. I done it again. We got it this time. I wrote a new tune. Music and notes by me, boys. Get this. This is going to be a snapper, this title. It's called When It's Apple Blossom Time in Corpus Christi.
My baby don't care for clothes. My baby don't care for shows. My baby just cares for me. My baby don't care for silks and laces. My baby don't care for high-toned places. My baby don't care for rings and other expensive things. She's sensible as can be. My baby don't care who knows it. My baby just cares for me. Care for clothes. My baby don't care for shows. My baby just cares for me. My baby don't care for silks and laces. My baby don't care for high-tone places. My baby don't care for rings and other expensive things. She's sensible as can be. My baby don't care who knows it. My baby just cares for me.
Inside Hollywood. Presenting Hollywood's own beloved, sweet, darling, pretty, vivacious, lovable...
Ah, yes.
Brunella Carsons. Miss Carsons.
Thank you, ugly boy. Good evening, all my friends here in Movie Land. Tonight, instead of my usual dribble... must be a typographical error. They must mean trivia. I'm speaking to you from the sound stages of stupendous pictures, and I want you to look in with me. Shall we be off?
Quiet! Quiet on the set! Quiet! Somebody's still breathing. Where's my assistant director, Rodney Reel?
Oh, yes, sir. Did you want me, sir?
Reel, you're all wound up. Remember, I'm a busy man directing this picture.
Of course, Monty.
As far as I'm concerned, Reel, you're just about run out. Now, what did I tell you to call me on the set?
You mean what the extras call you?
No, not that. Oh. You know.
Yes. Montague Close-Up Muldoon, Director Supreme of Stupendous Pictures, Incorporated.
Well, you can leave off the incorporated when we're among friends. I'm a busy man. This is no B picture, you know. Have we spent any money lately?
We spent $40,000 just 10 minutes ago.
I said lately. What'd you spend it for, Reel?
A bathing suit for the leading lady.
This is no B picture. Give me that checkbook. I'm going to write out a check for another $40,000. Let's get both pieces of that bathing suit. It's indecent. Reel, have I told you lately that I'm a busy man?
Yes, Mr. Busy. I mean Mr. Muldoon. Now, about this army picture, Mr. Muldoon, I want to tell you something.
Listen, Reel. You can't tell me anything about the Army. I know that outfit from A to Z. I was a full colonel in this war, and I spent the entire duration in Washington, D.C. Now, what about that desert scene?
Well, we're having difficulty finding a desert big enough to hold 2,000 troop transports.
Now, listen. If MacArthur could afford to use 1,000 troop transports, Stupendous Pictures can afford to use 2,000.
But there's no desert big enough.
Well, I told you to buy Death Valley. If you don't hurry, they'll start a housing project out there. Reel, you slipped your spool for the last time with me. I'm taking over the entire production of this picture personally. I promised the Secretary of War that this Army picture would be ready 3 days ago. I'll keep that promise.
Yes, Mr. Muldoon.
Have you got that explosion scene ready?
Yes, sir.
Well,
the bomb men have been working on it for 2 weeks. I think you'll like it.
well, let's have it. This picture's costing me $1 million a day. It's not long enough. Do it again. Well, I'm off for the desert. Forgot my checkbook. Quiet! Quiet! Quiet on the desert! Quiet! Well, Real, what's your excuse this time?
Well, Mr. Muldoon,
I don't see a drop of water out here anywhere.
But, Mr. Muldoon...
I told you to flood this entire desert under 26 feet of water. Now, what are we going to do with Esther Williams? In this picture, she won't swim. Well, in this picture, she just won't swim. She'll have to ride a camel, that's all. By the way, I don't see those camels anywhere.
But, Mr. Muldoon...
I suppose you're going to tell me that you forgot. You forgot a little thing like 30,000 camels. Oh.
Mr. Muldoon, there is something that this Army picture I've been trying to tell you.
Well, Real, you're all mixed up. I know what you mean, though. Is this what you call a crowd? I asked for 100,000 Arabs, but do I get them? No, there's practically nobody out there. Looks like a group of Republicans lined up to vote.
Mr. Muldoon, I've been thinking...
Impossible. Where's the telephone?
Why?
Why? I'll tell you why. I want a crowd out there. I'm going to call Washington. Mr. Truman's the only one that's got 100,000 men not doing anything.
Well, Mr. Muldoon, there's no telephone way out here in the desert.
No, who says so? When Muldoon wants a telephone, Muldoon gets a telephone. Why, there's probably one hanging right here on this banana tree. By the way, Real, where are those banana trees? Well, never mind. You got a nickel?
Here you are, Mr. Muldoon. 5 cents.
Well, this picture's costing us a lot of money. Hello? What number did I dial? Well, how should I know what number I dialed? I'm a busy man. Give me the White House. No, I won't wait. I want the White House. I'm a busy man. Hello, White House? I want to talk to you-know-who. Is he busy? Yeah, he's busy. I'll call later.
Mr. Muldoon, there's something about this Army picture you ought to know.
Real, you're off the track again. Have I fired you today?
No, Mr. Muldoon.
I haven't? You're fired!
Well, I'll be a second lieutenant.
All right. Now, places, everybody. Hurry up. It's going to take all day for 300,000 people to get set. You back there, stop blinking your eyes. Now, when I give the signal, all 300,000 of you Arabs run out into that clearing in the desert. Now, the Army planes, wait a minute. Yeah, they're up there circling around. All right. At a signal from me, they'll swoop down and strafe you. They're using real bullets, so be careful. If any of you get mowed down, don't worry. You won't spoil the scene. This is only a rehearsal.
Mr. Muldoon, I just came out to tell you the picture is finished.
It is? Well, that's fine. All you Arabs out there, you can all go home. This Army picture is finished.
There's only one thing wrong, Mr. Muldoon.
Well, what's that, Real?
What I've been trying to tell you all along. This picture was not ordered by the Secretary of War.
It wasn't?
No, that letter was from the Secretary of the Navy. This Army picture was supposed to be a Navy picture.
It's the blues. It's Midge Williams.
Out on a plain down near Santa Fe, I met a cowboy riding the range one day, and as he jogged along, I heard him singing the most peculiar cowboy song. It was a ditty he learned in the city. Come to I-I-Y, come to I-I-Y, by getting along. Get hip, little doggy, get along. Better be on your way, get along. Get hip, little doggy, and he tucked him on down the old fairway, singing his cow-cow boogie in the strangest way. Come to I-I-Y, come to I-I-Y, singing his cowboy song. He's just too much. He's got a knockout western accent with a hollow. He was raised on local weed. He's what you call a thing half-breed, singing his cow-cow boogie in the strangest way. Come at the I-I-Y, come at the I-I-Y, why get along? Get hip, little doggy, get along. Better be on your way, get along. Get hip, little doggy, and he trucked him on down the old fairway, singing his cow-cow boogie in the strangest way. Come at the I-I-Y, come at the I-I-Y, singing his cowboy song. He's just too much. He's got a knockout western accent with that Harlem cut. He was raised on local weed. He's what you call a swing half-breed, singing his cow-cow boogie in the strangest way. Come to I-I-Y, come to I-I-Y. Yip, 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 come to I-I-Y.
Stand by. Here's the news you've been waiting all week to hear. Here's the news thousands of you want to hear.
Folks, he's talking about the results of our Ginger Peachy contest announced last week. Remember, we told you to write a letter on the subject, how to get the Jack Webb show off the air.
Didn't work, did it? Well, John, clean your glasses and read the winning letter.
Here it is, Jack. In part it says, I read from the letter, quote, Chapter 1 entitled The Process of Air Fumigation, or How to Get the Jack Webb Show Off the Air. The solution is to have each person in the country take deeper and more breaths, and it won't be long until all the air is used up, and then there will be no air for Webb to be on.
How silly.
And it's signed Betty Ford, Pyramid Court, Sparks, Nevada. Congratulations, Miss Ford.
I hate you, Miss Ford. But enough of these pats in the back for Miss Ford. She wants to know what she's won. By the way, what did she win?
Oh, boy, she won, and how what she won.
Well, what did she win?
Well, if Nora McNamara will just put that geometry book away for a minute and come up here.
John, you don't mean we're giving Nora away?
No, Webb, no. Nora has the prize. And here it is.
My, look at that thing, a king-size egg. Isn't that beautiful? What is that, John?
It's a genuine ostrich egg laid fresh this morning from the California Ostrich Farm in Southern California. Yes, friends, this is a Hollywood egg.
Yes, sir, this ostrich egg has been autographed by all members of the cast, including John Galbraith, who makes his usual X. And it has been lacquered and placed on a solid wooden base. And all this, with our best wishes, will be shipped air express to the winner of this week's contest, Betty Ford, Sparks, Nevada.
Well, right now.
Tonight's egg was laid by the Ragged Clancy Hayes reached the stage against us with a vocal. Mitch Williams as guest stars, teed off on a couple of songs. John Galbraith and Ethel Sterling missed their cues. Dick Breen glued the joints together. And this is Jack Webb. Give us another chance next Wednesday night at 9:30, will you? Good night, gang. See you then.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true.
The names have been changed to protect the innocent. You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to robbery detail. You get a teletype warning you that 2 hold-up men are heading for your city. You know they're armed and dangerous. Your job? Be ready for them.
Dragnet, the documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Tuesday, April 5th. It was raining in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of robbery detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Chief Detective Thad Brown. My name's Friday. I was on my way back from R&I, and it was 8:46 a.m. when I got to room 27A. Squad room. Frank?
Yeah, Joe. Back here. How about it? Turn anything?
Yeah, a couple of names. None of them match the descriptions.
Mm-hmm.
One of the mugs supposed to be in.
This afternoon's mail, they said they were sending them there specially.
It'll be easier when we know who we're looking for, huh?
Yeah, they will.
Friday, Smith?
Yeah, Skipper.
Got a minute?
You're right there.
Morning.
Yeah.
Close the door, huh?
Yeah, sure.
Sit down. Here. Take a look at this.
What is it? About the Merton brothers.
Oh.
I just talked to Leopold.
Sheriff from Las Vegas?
That's right. Gave me as much as he could on the Merton.
Well, we checked our records. There's nothing on them here.
Isn't likely. From what Leopold says, they're fresh out from the east.
You name a town?
No, someplace in Georgia. They're trying to run it out.
Mm-hmm. Bolton we got said they pulled a couple of gas station holdups over there. Anything else?
Yeah, at least they think so.
Yeah.
According to their records, the boys got into town a couple of months ago. No visible means, but plenty of money. Hung around the places on the strip, gambled, drank, had themselves quite a time.
Yeah?
The department over there started to wonder where the money was coming from. Put a couple of men on them full time.
What'd they find out?
Not much. Merton's played it cozy. They were finally picked up on a drunk charge, mugged and printed. Nothing to hold them on, so they were released.
Yeah.
Next morning, they skipped town, left clean. On the way out, they stopped long enough to kick in a couple of those gas station motels, you know, along the highway.
Yeah.
Scored pretty good.
The victims make the identification right away?
Yeah. As soon as they saw the pictures, Sheriff's Office notified Baker. Highway Patrol there was waiting, but they must have gotten through before the word went out.
Mm-hmm.
We've been able to trace them through Barstow, Victorville, on through Pear Blossom, Little Rock. They worked hard all the way.
What do you mean?
3 service stations, 2 restaurants, 1 motel.
Anything on them here in L.A.?
Not yet. It's a matter of time. We got to get them before then.
Yeah.
All the victims tell the same story. These 2 guys are off their rockers. The way it stacks up, they're well armed. The car they're driving is cold, and they're on the needle.
Heroin?
Well, we got it. Leopold says they kept a couple of dates with known pushers in Vegas. As far as he could tell, there wasn't anything passed. That doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Yeah.
That's the story. Get on it.
Okay, Skipper.
I told you before, it's a matter of time till they try to put somebody around here in town.
Yeah.
A couple of crazy gunmen, high on H. Bad combination. Somebody's got to lose.
Well, let's hope it's not us. Ethan Gifford Merton, WMA, 27 years, 5 feet 8 inches, 165 pounds, and his brother, Grady James Merton, 24 years, 5 feet 6, 152 pounds, arrived in Los Angeles on the morning of April 5th. The first word we had of their presence was a hotshot telephone call reporting the robbery of a market on the corner of Santa Monica Boulevard and Monroe Street. The market owners, Mr. and Mrs. Turner Dillon, had both been pistol whipped. Mr. Dillon had been removed to George Street Receiving Hospital for treatment of a skull fracture. The woman had been given emergency treatment on the scene and referred to her own doctor. The description the victims gave us matched the Merton brothers. As soon as the mugshots from Las Vegas arrived, Frank and I drove out to see Mrs. Dillon. We found her in a small apartment above the store.
I just talked to the doctor at the hospital. He said Turner'd be all right.
Yes, ma'am.
Sure a wonder the way they hit him.
Yes, sir.
No reason for it. We'd have given him the money. Turner kept telling him, take the money and leave us alone. Take the money. Didn't make any difference to him. I don't think they even heard us.
We'd like you to look at some pictures, Mrs. Dillon, see if you can point out the men.
Oh, sure. Anything to help you catch him.
Here you are, man.
Think you've got him in here, do you?
I hope so, yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're right.
Ma'am?
Here they are. Same two. Am I going to help you get him?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you notice that they drove a car, Miss Dillon?
That's can't tell you for sure. We didn't really see them until they were in the store.
I see.
Well, there must be something wrong with men who beat somebody up like that. You know, up here. Can't be a normal person.
What'd they say to you?
Well, they told us it was a stick-up. Said to hand over the money. The bigger one, that's him right there. He said for us to hurry up.
I see.
My husband opened the cash register, then I gave him what was there. The big one told him to get to the safe, hand over that money, too.
Yeah.
Pointed the guns at us, kind of pushed us back to the safe. Turner opened it. All the time we did just what they said. We weren't going to cause them any trouble.
Yeah.
Handed them all the money, every dime. Turner kept saying, take the money, but leave us alone. He must have said it 50 times. Before I even knew what was happening, Turner was lying on the floor. He'd been hit. I got mad. I tried to get at the man myself. Didn't make any difference to him. I was a woman. They hit me, too.
With the gun?
Yeah, here. Right on the face. Guess they didn't hit me as hard as they did Turner. Guess they didn't. After that, they left the store.
Did you see him go?
Not too good. To tell you the truth, I was more concerned with taking care of my husband than paying attention to them.
Mm-hmm.
Couple of hoodlums. I don't know where men like that come from. Must be something wrong with the way they were brought up.
Yes, ma'am.
Truth come out, it'll probably be their parents who ought to be in jail, not the boys at all.
Well, you might be right.
Sure, it's not the boys' fault.
Well, we'll settle for him. 4:25 p.m. We received a communique from the FBI telling us that the Merton brothers are wanted by the state of Alabama for escape. A complete record on the two men was also sent. They've been arrested a total of 26 times for everything from petty theft to kidnapping. According to the kickback, they'd escaped from a road gang while serving a sentence for possession of narcotics. We contacted the authorities in Alabama and asked them to forward all available information on the suspects. After talking with Captain Donahoe, Frank and I went over to the First Street station to see Captain Walters. We asked him to supply a list of places the two brothers might turn for a narcotic contact. He gave us a list of several places in town and the names of men we could talk to. 8:16 p.m. We started to check them out.
Yeah, what'll it be?
You seen Patsy Hayworth around?
Well, why are you looking for him?
Want to talk to him?
What about?
Well, if we wanted you to know, we'd ask for you, wouldn't we?
You guys cops?
That's right. Now, where's Patsy?
I don't know.
Come on. We got word that he hasn't been more than 3 blocks away from here in the past 4 years. Now, where is he?
I told you, I don't know.
You're not being smart, mister.
Hey, back room.
Is he alone?
Yeah, as far as I know.
What's he doing?
Nothing different. Playing solitaire.
Oh.
Yeah? You want something?
You Patsy Hayworth?
That's right. Sit down. I know you.
I don't think so.
You're in the wrong room.
Police officers, we got some questions for you.
I don't guarantee the answers.
It's a start.
Go.
You heard from the Merton brothers?
Who?
Grady and Ethan Merton.
No name.
You don't know them.
Red Queen and a Black King, and I could turn him over. That's the baby I've been looking for. It's the first time today.
Is that so?
Yeah. First win. Too bad I didn't pay for the deck. I'd have made a killing.
All right, now, come on, Hayworth. What do you know about the Mertons?
I told you nothing. Now, why come to me? A lot of other guys in town?
They're going to need 8. The way we got it, you can steer them to it.
Old friends again.
All right. Get your coat.
Why?
Let's take a ride.
For what?
We can't talk here. Let's go downtown.
Well, it's a nice place. There's nothing wrong with right here.
All right, then. What do you know?
What's in it for me?
Why?
Well, information like that ought to be worth something.
You know we can't do anything for you. Come on, let's go.
Well, how long do you figure you're going to be able to hold me?
Long enough.
How do you make that?
Well, I'll tell you. We'll take you downtown, process you, pass the word you copped out. Told us about a half a dozen people in town. Thing like that gets around, you're going to be in trouble. You'll come back with what we want to know.
Well, that's kind of crummy. It almost goes to blackmail.
Now, you called it. We didn't.
You'd really do that?
We would.
All right. You crossed out all the roads. What do you want to know about the Mertons?
You know them.
I met them yet.
Where?
Place down the street.
When?
Last night.
What is it, a bar or hotel?
Hotel.
They're there now?
No, we just used the room to meet.
You know where they are?
No.
What they want?
You called it, H.
You do them any good?
No, I told you the truth. I'm not pushing anymore.
Why'd they come to you?
Heard I could turn them on.
What'd you tell them?
Well, said I couldn't help them. I told them I'd try and line something up. Stall, you know. I don't want any part of that action. Even if I could have a piece of it, the answer would be no.
Why?
Well, these guys are too far out. They must be shooting 7, 8 caps a day. Got to spend most of their time cooking. They're out of their skulls.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You got anything that'll help box them in?
I don't know. Hey, maybe the broad.
What do you mean?
Well, they're dragging a broad with them, a big one. Must be 6'2" and a stocking.
You know her?
I've seen her around.
Where?
Used to hustle drinks downtown. Got too rough for some of the managers. They tied the can to her. She's been floating for a couple of months. Ties into some guy who'll pay the bill. As soon as he wisens up, she drops and goes on the prowl.
She got an address?
Oh, I can't name it. Some flea bag on 5th, I think.
She a hive?
I don't know. She might chip you with it. Not steady enough.
Mm-hmm.
But she's smart, you know. How looks, she'd do real good. One of the homeliest women I ever met.
Is that so?
Yeah, looks like she should be wearing a bridle.
Where can we get in touch with her?
Well, it's hard to say since she's running with the Mertens.
Yeah.
You might try the 10 of Hearts.
Where's that?
It's a dive on 6. She used to show for the place. When they kicked her out, she went freelance. She still hangs around, I think.
All right. How'd you leave it with the Mertens?
Huh?
They going to contact you?
I don't know. They might. You want me to call you if they do?
Yeah, we'd appreciate that.
Okay. You got a card?
Here.
Thanks. I'll give you a ring.
All right, Hayward. We'll hear from you, right?
Yeah. There you are, you see?
What?
You should have banked the game. I lost.
No, you didn't.
Huh?
You won. We returned to the office and ran the name and description of the woman through the record section. We came up with a package listing arrest for violation of Section 647.5 of the Penal Code and 4220 LAMC, soliciting drinks. She'd served 2 terms in the county jail and at the present time was not on parole. We got her address and drove out to see her. The landlady at the apartment house told us she was out and wasn't expected back at any certain time. Frank and I drove down to the 10 of Hearts, a small bar on 6th Street. We found the woman sitting on one of the front stools.
Hi, honey. Like to buy a drink?
Your name Jane Finletter?
Names don't mean anything here. Just friends. That's all it really counts, friends.
How about it? Is that your name?
Are you guys cops?
That's right.
What are you asking me for? I ain't done nothing.
We're not rousing. We want to talk to you.
About what?
Let's get outside. Be easier to talk there.
I got a choice.
Not much.
Okay. Henry?
Yeah, Jane.
Save the stool. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Go.
Right out here. We can talk in the car.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Get in.
Okay, what's the beef?
You work here, do you?
You mean this place?
That's right.
Once in a while, I come in, have a couple of drinks, that's it.
Where do you live?
I've been the route, cop. You're right out here to pass the time of day. What do you after?
A couple of questions.
Not the collars for that.
What do you mean?
You're not uniform. You don't send a suit out to ask about a traffic accident.
What do you do with your time, Jane?
Move around.
Well, lay it out for me. What?
When?
Start the first of the week, huh?
Okay. Slept late Monday. Got up about 1:30. Had a bad night Sunday. Woke up with a real head.
Mm-hmm.
Tagged the bar on the corner. Had a couple of Bloody Marys. Went home. Changed my clothes and met a friend.
You want to give us his name?
Ain't go any farther.
Not from us.
Nick Pfeiffer.
Okay, what happened then?
I was out with him until maybe 2:30.
That's in the morning.
Yeah. Came home, went to bed. Slept until about 11:32.
Mm-hmm.
Got a call from a couple of friends who just got into town.
Get their names?
Same deal.
Same deal.
A couple of brothers. They met a girlfriend of mine in Las Vegas. She gave them my number.
How about the names?
Ethan and Grady Merton.
Okay.
Met them, had a couple of drinks, and drove out to the beach for lunch. Came back to town, had dinner. Takes us up to last night.
You seen him today?
No. Ethan called me this afternoon.
Yeah.
Said they had some kind of a business deal to take care of this evening. After that, they were going to pick me up.
Where?
Here, in about an hour.
Mm-hmm.
That the reason for the muscle, the Merton brothers?
Might be.
They got a game going. I'm not on their side. I want that clear. They pulled a boo-boo. They did it themselves. No help from me.
Mm.
As far as I'm concerned, they both got soft spots.
What do you mean?
In their skulls. Soft.
They say what this business was they had to take care of?
No, mentioned something about somebody owing them money, something like that, so they were going to collect.
Didn't say where, though.
Not to me.
Mm-hmm.
The way they were rigged last night, though, didn't leave a lot of doubt. All those guns going out to collect.
Yeah.
They weren't going to do it nice.
We called the office and told them what had happened. Another team of men were sent out to help us cover the place. Frank and I took up our positions in the back of the bar, and we waited. 1:15 a.m., 1:30, 1:45.
What do you think, Joe?
I don't know.
They decided not to show us.
That's possible.
Yeah. Hey, Joe, I got an idea this morning.
Yeah?
While I was shaving.
Mm-hmm.
I always have trouble, try all the things they tell you. Let the lather stay on 2.5 minutes, hot water, all the things you're supposed to do. I've tried them all.
Mm-hmm.
Finally came up with the answer.
You did, huh?
Yep.
Well, what is it this time?
New kind of razor?
New razor.
Yeah. I got thinking about Faye and gave me the idea.
How does that work?
Faye's my wife.
Yeah, I know that. She's shaving now?
Oh, Joe, you don't understand. She's not shaving.
No?
No. See, last night she gave herself one of those home permanents, and I got the idea from that.
For the new razor?
Yeah. They got those permanent things for different kinds of hair, like hair that's hard to curl, medium, easy to curl, easy,
I think I know what's coming here.
Well, if somebody invented a razor for tough beards, medium beards, light beards, he'd do all right.
Mm-hmm. You going to invent it, are you?
Sure, I'm not going to invent it. You know how I am with those things. Just got the idea, though. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
I'd sure like to buy one if they had them. Tough beards, find you one right away. First day. That'd be the answer.
Well, here comes ours. Looks like Grady Merton just came in, doesn't it?
Yeah. Wonder where his brother is.
Might be outside.
Wait a minute while we move.
Mm-hmm.
He's talking to the send letter woman.
Yeah. It's starting to leave. Let's go. We'll take him outside.
Right.
All right, Merton, hold it up.
He's leaving, Joe.
All right, come on, calm down. Take it easy.
Leave me alone.
Police officer. Take it easy. All right, now, come on, Merton. Get up. Come on, get over there by the wall.
Stand still. Here, Joe. Luger. Hurting still.
Yeah.
All right, put your hands down the back.
What are you shoving me around for, cop? You're going to be sorry about...
Where's your brother?
You'll find him.
You got a fat mouth, mister. Now, where is he?
I won't lead you to him.
Got him, huh?
That's right.
You turned them on, didn't you?
You talk to me. Guys like you always causing trouble.
Ah, you cheap bum. I don't know what he's in season. You're sure going to be sorry when he hears about this.
Tell him to stay away, too.
He'll get you. You can't dig far enough to get away. He'll find you and pay you back.
All right, that's enough. Now, let's go.
You tell her. She's going to collect interest on it. She'll be sorry.
Not alone.
Huh?
She'll have company. The other team of men remained at the bar in the event the other suspect returned. We took Grady Merton to the city hall for questioning. Empty your party.
Huh?
Come on, empty them out.
Wallet. Change, keys. I'll get your pen knife. That's it.
Let me see your arms, Merton.
Huh?
Come on, let me see your arms.
What for?
Now, there's two ways to do this. You take your choice.
Okay. All right.
When'd you have your last pop?
You got to prove it.
That won't be hard. All we got to do is drop you in an ISO cell, and you'll be screaming for it.
Sure. You get all the money you can on that. I'll book it myself.
Let me see the wallet.
There's nothing wrong with your reach.
This the pink slip on your car?
Yeah.
Bought it in Nevada?
That's what it said.
Yeah. What are those keys for?
Nothing. I just like to carry them.
Stand up.
Now, what happens now? You hit me?
Turn around. Forgot something, didn't you, Merton?
Huh?
Key here. What's it for?
I never saw it before.
Hendricks Arms Hotel. Is that where you've been staying?
I'm not going to say anything more. You want me to talk? It's got to be with a lawyer.
All right.
I know my rights. You can't make me say nothing more.
You don't have to.
Huh?
We got all we need. We had Grady Merton taken to the main jail and held to answer charges of violation of Section 211 PC. 3:26 a.m., Frank and I left the office and drove out to the Hendricks Arms. It was a large private home in the Crenshaw area that had been converted into a hotel. Frank covered the back entrance to the building, and I walked up the steps.
Just a minute. I'm coming. You know, it's 3:30. Hope you got a good reason coming around here this time of night.
Police officer, can you tell me who's registered in room 5C?
What for?
Police business.
Listen, mister, this is a clean place. There's no trouble. Now, that's the way I run it. That's the way I want it to
Yes,
stay.
sir. Now, who's in room 5C?
A couple of guys.
What are the names?
I don't know. Smith or something. Wife rented the room to him. Only seen him a couple of times.
All right, did one of them look like this picture?
Come in here while I get some light, huh?
All right.
Now then, let's take a look. Oh, this the fellow here?
That's right.
Well, yes. Guess that's one of them. Yeah.
Is he in now?
Well, I wouldn't have any way of knowing that. Tenants come and go as they please. See, long as they don't let the water run, don't have no loud parties, we don't bother.
Where is the room?
There's the third floor rear.
Okay. This hall go to the back door?
Yeah, you got to go through the kitchen. Say, can you tell me what this is all about?
Be better if we didn't.
You going to be in shooting?
I don't think so.
Well, if there is, I can give you a hand. I got a 12-gauge in my room. I used to hunt ducks. I can get it if you give me a hand.
No, sir, that won't be necessary. All right, thanks.
Yeah. Is he here?
Don't know yet. Is there any back stairs?
Yes, sir. Right through there. Looks like a closet, but you open another door and you can go on up.
All right, sir. Do you have a key to the room?
Yeah. Here you are. Want me to go with you?
Might be better if you stayed here.
Yeah, well, I'll get my gun and guard the front door. He won't get out. I'll guard it.
This is down this way.
Yeah, easy. No noise.
No. You all set?
Yeah.
It's locked.
Behind you, Joe.
All right, what are you doing? Hi, Jack, what are you guys doing here?
Come on, up.
How'd you get to me? How'd you do it?
We did.
I should have killed you all the time in the world, and I didn't do it. I should have killed you.
Yeah, you should have.
Perfect shot, and I couldn't do it. No reason at all. Wouldn't have cost me any more.
That's so?
Yeah, sure. They never executed anybody in this state for killing a cop. Wouldn't have cost me any more.
You got a bigger bill than you can pay now. Come on.
The story you have just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent. On August 18th, trial was held in Department 98, Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. In a moment, the results of that trial. Ethan Gifford Merton and Grady James Merton were tried and convicted of robbery in the first degree, 5 counts, and received sentence as prescribed by law. Robbery in the first degree is punishable by imprisonment in the state penitentiary for a period of from 5 years to life. Because of the viciousness of their crimes, their sentences were set to run consecutively. A hold was placed on them by the state of Alabama in the event they are paroled. You have just heard Dragnet, a series of authentic cases from official files. Technical advice comes from the Office of Chief of Police W.H. Parker, Los Angeles Police Department. Technical advisors, Captain Jack Donahoe, Sergeant Marty Wynn, Sergeant Vance Brasher. Heard tonight were Ben Alexander, Herb Ellis, Virginia Gregg, Vic Rodman, Bert Holland. Script by John Robinson. Music by Walter Schumann. Hal Gibney speaking.
Watch an entirely different Dragnet case history each week on your local NBC television station. Please check your newspapers for the day and time. Chesterfield has brought you Dragnet, transcribed from Los Angeles.
That's what the sign out in front of my office says. Pat Novak for hire. Oh, sure, you can spell it 50 different ways, but down on the waterfront in San Francisco, it all means the same thing. You pay and I'll do, and the customer's always right if he's got an open wallet. And I'll match it with an open mind. Unless he's after murder, then the price gets out of range. And down here, you're either high on your toes or flat on your back, because most of the time you get only one kind of pitch.
fast and inside, and you don't try if you're foul because nobody cares. Even then, you can't complain. During the summer, the morgue's the coolest spot in town. Oh, I rent boats and wrap up small sins in $20 bills. The money's good when you get it, but there's no retirement plan, and you can't buy vaccination for trouble. I found that out last Wednesday night. I closed up shop about 8 o'clock, and I started walking home. The city was down on its hands and knees trying to crawl through one of those San Francisco hot spells that blast by every 5 years. From up on the hill, the Chinatown tenements lined up down below like sweaty little kids waiting for a shower. It was heat and headaches all the way. But when I opened my front door and stepped inside, who wanted to talk about the weather? She was standing in the dark smoking a cigarette, and the silhouette her figure cut against the window was something you'd never believe. Then she reached over and turned on a lamp. It was a fast, dizzy trip, but when I got around to her eyes, they were the kind that made you think of hard-working geysers. Deep and warm, and you knew you could count on some fast action when they came to a boil. The smile was familiar, and the lips were red and moist, like a souped-up rose waiting for a bee. She did lots of nice things with her mouth, and talking was one of them.
Patsy, welcome home. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's good to see you, Georgie. What's on your mind?
Patsy, can't you ever take your time?
It's not mine, it's borrowed. Anything special in mind?
Easy business. Got a drink?
How easy?
Just a boat ride. You can't get hurt.
That's what they told the Spanish Armada.
Getting soft, Patsy?
No, not in the head. Now, look, if it's work, let's talk. Otherwise, let's just be cute, huh?
All right, Patsy. The last time you saw me was a year ago. As far as you know, I'm not in town. Fine?
You tell me. Go on.
Tomorrow night, a freighter's due in here from Shanghai. The SS Calcutta. I want to be on the welcoming committee.
Who says you can't?
Nobody yet. But the ship's going to anchor in the stream, so I need a boat, and I need you.
I'm not the social type. I don't think I'll go.
Believe me, Patsy, it's an easy trip.
So's falling downstairs. Come on, let's deal or drink.
All right, Patsy. My stepmother's going to meet the Calcutta, too.
Who's she?
Mrs. Sheila Lampson.
She likes parties?
She likes a package she's going to get from somebody aboard the Calcutta.
What's in it?
That's her business. I just want to make sure she gets that package ashore all right.
You in on it?
She doesn't even know I'm in town.
Who picks up the check?
Here. Will $40 cover it?
It's too much for an easy job and not enough for a hard one. Where do I find you if I need bail?
Here's a phone number. You can call me there tomorrow. And Patsy, thanks. I don't forget easy.
Why the rush?
Because you scare me, Patsy. You really scare me. You remember the party, Patsy?
Yeah. But memories are like everything else. They wear out.
Then let's make some new ones, Patsy.
At the door and watched her move down the hall toward the stairs. The white dress she had on was plain enough, but it didn't have a mind of its own. It just did what it was told and tried to behave, but Georgian nature wouldn't let it. There was only one catch in seeing Georgie. She always left too soon, like a small bottle of fine whiskey. Well, it must have been a good 5 minutes after she left when I heard the buzzer. I was looking for the white dress when I opened the door, but I was looking the wrong way. Something with an echo, and it came down hard on the side of my head. I went down like mercury in a quick freeze. The trip wasn't nice, but it was long. Halfway there, I came up for breath, and I found the deck of one of my own boats under me. The Bay Bridge lights were still around, and that made it kind of cozy. When my eyes got in focus, the smooth-looking bundle laid out next to me shaped up like Georgie Lampson. She wasn't looking her best. I had just enough time to remember a pair of women's shoes standing next to my face, and then I must have moved, and they punched my ticket for a return trip. The next time I opened my eyes, I was looking up at the lights on Pier 19. Oh, the shoes were still there, but this time they were black, and the feet inside squashed out wide and flat like tired beefsteak. That meant only one thing: Hellman from Homicide.
You can stop playing mouse, Novak. Get up. The party's over.
Yeah, Hellman. I thought they'd never go home.
Your boyfriend here isn't talking.
Is he bashful?
Yeah, Novak. He's real shy. He's dead. Who is he?
That's what you get paid for. What about the girl that was here?
County Hospital. You better pray she makes it, Novak.
Because you like blondes, Hellman?
Because nobody beats 2 murder raps, Novak.
Oh, you talk funny.
So does this hunk of lead pipe. Your prints are all over it.
What's that make me, a plumber?
Better than that, Novak. The pipe fits the dent in that guy's skull like it grew there.
Well, maybe he's the plumber.
You're smart, Novak. Now, come on. Who's the guy and who is the dame?
She's Georgie Lampson. The guy I don't know.
We'll, Novak. We'll take care of that.
Oh, you try hard, don't you, Hellman? You move your lips when you read, you use your fingers when you count, but you never get the right answer.
Don't tempt me, Novak. I'm not my cherry best in the morning.
You don't have a best, Hellman. You tried thinking once, but it gave you a headache. Now when you get in a squeeze, you have to pound your way out with your fist.
I warned you, Novak. Now talk nice and save teeth.
Yeah. I'll talk when that blonde tells her story.
If she makes the grade, how does she figure?
She met me in my apartment last night on business. 5 minutes after she left, the doorbell rang. When I answered it, somebody sapped me. Now you take it from there.
Yeah, I will. Right to the DA.
Go ahead, Hellman, but don't look hurt when the case blows up in your face.
You giving odds?
That's all I'm giving, Hellman. You figure it. I took the gal and this girl I don't even know for a ride at 3 a.m. We had a party and I killed the guy. But the gal I only messed up good because I like the way she talked.
You sound scared, Novak.
Well, I'm not, Hellman, but you are because it doesn't add. Why did I beat my skull with that same hunk of pipe, and how did I drive back here to meet you?
Keep your mouth open, smart boy. They got a little green room up at San Quentin. Gets awful stuffy when they close the door.
Well, after I left Hellman, I figured I'd had a bumper crop of trouble for one day. The sun was just beginning to stagger up over the Berkeley Hills when I caught a cab uptown. On the way, I stopped off for coffee and a 6 a.m. Chronicle at one of those little Greek joints off Geary Street. The windows were blind with grease and the light was bad, but the reading was money from home. The story made me stop counting the lumps on my head. Professor Burton Lampson. He'd gotten himself murdered in a Shanghai hotel room a month ago, and they were sending his body back on the SS Calcutta. It was due to anchor in the bay that night, like Georgie said, but the shipping page didn't agree. The Calcutta was listed inside the gate at 7:30 the night before. How did that check out? And what about that package that had everybody worried? Well, when I got back to my apartment, I called the hospital to check on Georgie. And they were still giving odds, the long, thin kind. A little later, I was in the middle of a cold shower, adding up rows of zeros and getting different answers every round when the phone rang. It was Hellman, and he was selling nothing but smiles.
You feeling any better, Novak?
Oh, don't tell me you're worried.
We just identified the dead guy. His name's Warren Haynes, local socialite. You know him?
Yeah, I'm an old friend of the family.
The guy's from one of the old families in town, the important kind.
His blood wasn't blue.
No, but we are. We're feeling the pressure already, so I'm calling you in today for a little talk.
That's a great job, Hellman. You keep right on smacking your fat lips because you're going to get more answers than questions.
That's funny, Novak. I didn't think you knew the difference.
When I hung up the phone, I was seeing more red than the bleachers at a bullfight. I probably would have walked right by him if he didn't open his mouth. Even then, it wasn't much more than a loud squeak. He was a skinny guy standing against the door with a half smile twisting his mouth and a bright, wild look in his eyes.
You seem disturbed, Mr. Novak.
Where's your invitation, mister?
This should prove sufficient, Mr. Novak.
All right, so you and a gun. What happens now?
Now, Mr. Novak, I use the gun unless you hand over the package.
Sorry, mister, you're in the wrong laundry.
Mr. Novak, I've been crossed once today. I don't intend it shall happen twice. The package?
Now, look, you, I'm going to spell it again. I don't know what you're talking about. Now, take that cannon you're pointing and
I think you realize I'm about to use this gun, Mr. Novak, for the last time.
All right. We'll find it right over there. Now here, right next to... Now, come on, give me that gun before somebody gets hurt. He stood there for a minute, shaking his head as if he wanted to go back and wipe 5 minutes from his life. All of a sudden, he jerked around in his tracks and he stumbled for the door like a timid drunk when you tell him he's had enough. Then he folded up hard against the wall on his knees. But it was a little too late for prayers. I stood there for a minute trying to think of a good lawyer who owed me money, but all I could see was a courtroom and a picture of Hellman smiling as he listened to the verdict. Well, accident or not, if Hellman dropped in with a body on the floor, he'd bury me so deep in San Quentin he'd be bringing me air in paper bags. When the knot in my stomach untied, I dragged the little guy away from the door and I rolled him on his back. His eyes were still asking for the package, but the rest of him didn't care. Outside of a few bucks, his wallet was empty, not even a laundry tag. Well, I got dressed and I pulled the blinds and locked the place up. And then I went out to look for the only honest guy I know, an ex-doctor by the name of Jocko Madigan. He was a fine surgeon until something made him decide life was temporary at best. Now he's got a permanent post on a bar stool looking for answers at the bottom of whiskey bottles. Well, it's hard on the liver that way, but you're never short on dreams. I finally found him with a bourbon halo in a musty little Italian joint over in North Beach. It was a long stretch from Easter Monday, but he was still celebrating Irish independence. He looked like he was on the wrong side because his nose was a bright orange.
Pepsi!
Patsy, my boy, you're just in time. These simple but honest Sicilians have agreed to embark with me on a crusade. And as honorary past president of the Sons of St. Patrick, the Powell Street chapter, I invite you to join us.
Come on, Jocko, sober up. I gotta talk to you.
To fittingly observe the occasion of old Ayre's joyful victory, we're first fortifying ourselves with grappa and bushmills. Then we sally forth to chase all the snakes out of Long Beach and the cockroaches out of Chinatown. How does that strike you, Patsy? And why aren't you smiling? 'Tis a glorious day.
Because I'm in a jam and I want to talk, Jocko. Now cut it.
Oh, Patsy, you remind me of that Devil Era fellow. You're sitting on the curb and pouting just because they won't let you march in front of the band in the victory parade. You're sour, Patsy. Admit it.
Jocko, will you snap out of it? I'm in big trouble.
You're always in trouble, Patsy. You're a child of adversity, a son of scorn. The fates spit in your eye and you try to retaliate, but the wind's always blowing in the wrong direction. You're a lost leaf in the mortal storm, Patsy. You're a pebble shaking a tiny fist at the mountain. You'd like to fight for some strange, fantastic cause, wouldn't you, Patsy? But you can't find anybody your size. Men are too small and the gods are too big. Patsy, you're lost.
Are you all through?
Yeah. What kind of trouble?
Oh, it's a pair of bum murder raps, Jocko. Somebody sapped me in my apartment last night, and I woke up this morning with a dead guy.
That sounds interesting. What was it you were drinking?
Hellman's out to pin this on me.
Oh, a dubious honor. You mentioned 2 murders.
A guy came in my apartment this morning waving a gun and asking for a package that I never heard of. We started wrestling for the gun.
Mildly exciting. Who got it?
He did, right in the chest.
Patsy, you have absolutely no excuse for losing your temper. Why, you're not even Irish. Still, you're always getting hot-headed at the wrong time.
It was an accident, Jocko. I didn't even know the guy. I'm sorry, but I can't cry.
Sure, that's what the British general said after he hung Robert Emmett at the dock. But he didn't straighten out the Marcel in his neck. What are you doing out of jail?
Well, you knock it off, Jocko. Now, look, did you ever hear of a Mrs. Sheila Lampson?
Certainly, and I'm very offended with her. In the past year, she set up drinks for every eligible and non-eligible in San Francisco except me.
That sounds good. What else?
Not much, but I often wonder what that poor old professor she married does with his evenings.
He stopped worrying, Jocko. He's dead. Now, look, will you hop down to the Chronicle morgue and check with Steve Nagel? Have him dig out all the old clips on the professor and Mrs. Lampson, will you? And while you're there, check on a guy by the name of Warren Haynes. You got that?
Yes, but what do I do for money?
$50 for car fare and nothing for booze.
Patsy, surely you're jesting.
Jocko, will you quit clowning and get going?
If you say so, Patsy, but you've broken up a beautiful party. My Sicilian friends have gone to sleep and I'm thirsty again. Let's have 4 or 5 for the road, shall we?
Later, Jocko.
Oh, all right, Patsy, but only for you. By the way, where can I find you?
I'm going to tag by the county hospital, and then I'm going to look up Sheila Lampson.
If I remember the story correctly, Patsy, you'd better reverse your schedule. Good night, lover.
When I left Jocko, I tagged by Mama Lupo's on Kearney Street, and I called the hospital again. Oh, Georgie was a little better. At least the undertakers had stopped bidding. Mama Lupo clouded up for a storm when I asked to borrow her new car for a couple of hours, but a few pats and a pinch, and she was all giggles and car keys. 10 minutes later, I was fighting traffic on Potrero Avenue. The south wind out there brought the slaughterhouses right into your front seat. I found the hospital out on the far edge, and it was a nice-looking pile of dirty red brick. The nurse in the ward didn't believe I was Georgie's brother until I asked her if she was busy Saturday night. Then she saw the resemblance right away. I found Georgie behind a couple of screens at the end of the ward. And for a dying woman, she looked pretty good. She smiled a little when she saw me, like she was saving up for a bigger try later on.
Patsy, I'm glad you made it.
Look, I'm going to keep it short, baby. Who was it last night?
Sorry, Patsy. Big deal.
You can't tell her, you won't.
Can't, Patsy. Later I will.
And that package, same deal?
Same.
Well, I got a deal too, Georgie, a murder rap. They want to hang it on me.
Who was it?
Warren Haynes. Do you know him?
I remember. Good corpse.
Now, look, you're slicing it awful thin for $40, Georgie.
Patsy, trust me.
No choice, baby. You're driving. Don't go through any red lights.
Oh, Patsy.
Telephone, Mr. Novak. They said it was urgent.
That's it, Georgie. I'll see you later. Yeah.
Having a good time, Novak?
You know any phone numbers besides mine, Hellman?
Not today, bright boy. You near a streetcar, or do I send a chauffeur?
What's your beef?
Our beef, Novak. We'd like it fine if you paid us a visit real soon.
Sorry, Hellman. Book's solid.
Command performance, Novak. I wouldn't disappoint.
What's the matter, Hellman? You want it in blood? I told you I don't know anything about last night. I never saw Haynes before.
You got me wrong, Novak. This one's about a knife. We just found it in your office down on the waterfront.
That's fine. Peel yourself an apple and keep busy.
You better come down, Novak. We found the knife in some guy's back.
Houdini couldn't get out of that one in 2 hours with both hands and a can of olive oil. It was like chasing cyanide with a bucket of brandy. Well, it tastes bright, but it's only a matter of time. Well, I headed for Sheila Lampson's place, and on the way I pulled up by a drugstore out in the Haight Street jungles and called the Chronicle morgue. They said Jocko had just left, so I called the nearest bar and asked if they had a customer with a bright orange nose. They did.
Jocko Madigan speaking.
Jocko, this is Novak. What'd you find out?
Ah, Patsy. Just enjoying a small refresher after some very excellent reading.
For instance?
Sheila Howard Lampson. She started seeing the professor back in 46. There was a scandal, the nasty kind, and the professor's first wife, Barbara, jumped off the bridge, the Bay Bridge.
Yeah, go on.
A month after she married the professor, Sheila was mentioned in every gossip column in town. So the professor took off on a scientific trip to China. A month ago, he was murdered in a Shanghai hotel, and a hatful of emeralds was stolen. The authorities figured that the murder was premature.
What do you mean?
Well, the professor had 3 major operations, and at the time of the murder, he had less than a week to go.
What about Haynes?
Haynes is one of those black sheep that wealthy families have, cut off without a penny. He's one of Sheila Lampson's escorts, and he's now on his way back from the Orient on the SS Calcutta. Anything else?
Jocko, I could kiss you.
Patsy, you stick to your line, and I'll stick to mine.
Well, the puzzle was still a sack full of holes and question marks, but at least Jocko's leads had a little juice in them. I found the Lampson house in the best part of the Seacliff district. It was one of those big nervous joints hanging by its shutters to the side of a steep drop that slid down sharp into the Pacific. All green trim and stucco the color of mortgages. The front doorbell was wearing out in my hand when the maid showed up, and then she was tongue-tied. She didn't know a thing except good money when it was offered. And then she told me I'd find Mrs. Lampson in the second-floor sitting room. She went away. I found the sitting room all right, but Mrs. Lampson wasn't there. So I followed on through till I came to a bedroom with a bright red ceiling and a lived-in feeling. Reminded you of something Henry VIII might order for a bridal suite. She was sitting next to the couch holding a martini and making noises like a leopard on a honeymoon.
Hello. Don't call me baby.
Yeah. You always wear handkerchiefs to parties?
Mm-hmm. Saves time. Dressing. You're nice. Have a drink?
I'll fix them.
Oh, you are nice. What's your name?
Novak. What's yours?
Billy.
Is that a name or a game?
You're just like Mike. He's my new boyfriend.
This is night off?
Oh, no. He just went downstairs for a minute. Hey, you mix a nice drink, Mr. Novak. Warm.
Yeah. You got a fever or something?
No. Must be the weather, Mr. Novak. You feel it?
You're a big spender, aren't you? What do I do when Mike walks in? Smile?
Oh, Mike's broad-minded.
How about Sheila?
You fix a good drink, Mr. Novak. You ask a lot of questions, too.
Yeah, well, that's because I like answers. Now, what about Sheila?
Hey, you're going to get rough. I'll call Mike.
All right.
I'm Sheila's sister, and it's much better when you're nice to me.
All right, then let's start being nice, huh?
Mr. Novak, what was that for?
I'm a big spender, too. Here, have another drink.
I think maybe I'll have another you, Mr. Novak. Is that Mike coming upstairs?
Could be, baby. Now, come on, where's Sheila?
Oh, Sheila, who cares? She's downtown anyway. She won't know. Hey, where are you going?
Sorry, baby, I got a date.
I'm not busy. Will I do?
Don't let him leave, Mike.
If he does, he's going to walk through me.
I'm sorry, baby, he's not my type. Mike was a tall, wide package, so I gave him a bargain offer. He didn't fold after 2, but he had a kind of hurt look in his eye when I hit him the 3rd time, like I didn't know he could take a hint. When he wound up and hit the floor, every window in the house rattled, and I figured the Berkeley seismograph got a cheap thrill. I made it as far as the front door when I heard a car pull up in the driveway. When I got to the window, a dame and a guy were getting out of a new Nash and heading for the door. The guy was a middle-class gunsel, but if the gal was Sheila Lampson, she made nice opposition. Well, I couldn't wait around to see. I finally managed to make my apartment without having one of Hellman's men pick me up, and when I got in, Jocko was just pouring himself another glass of Green Dreams and posing in the mirror like a man of distinction. The stiff was still there on the floor next to a glass of ice water.
Patsy, I don't approve of your choice of party guests.
The guy's dead, Jocko.
Oh. Well, in that case, I'll overlook it. This is the friend you were telling me about? When are you due at the gas chamber, Patsy?
Any phone calls?
Oh, now that you mention it, yes.
Hellman?
Regularly on the quarter hour. Not very coherent, but I got the idea he's looking for you. Also a call from the hospital. They wanted to know the whereabouts of a Miss Georgie Lampson.
What do you mean?
Seems she disappeared a few hours ago from one of their wards.
Oh.
Patsy, you look worried. Perhaps a sampling of this delicate dollar ambrosia would help. Try it.
No, thanks.
Suit yourself, Patsy. Myself, I'm an old subscriber to the Socrates plan of self-destruction. If you want it done right, do it yourself. By the way, have you noticed our friend's hands lately?
Huh?
It looks like he's entertaining a scrap of paper in his right hand.
Yeah, I see it. Oh, let me see that.
He seems kind of stingy with it, doesn't he?
Yeah, I got it.
Uh-huh. Oh, an old envelope. Not even a coded letter to puzzle over.
I'll settle for the address, Jocko. Take a look.
Captain Edward Small, SS Calcutta, Paramount Line, Shanghai. Well, that's nice. Shall we have another drink?
Later, Jocko. Right now we haven't got the time.
If that's who I think it is, Patsy, you're going to have lots of time. I'll just whip up a short one.
Novak talking.
Listen, smart boy, and listen hard. This is for the last time. You check in here in 10 minutes, or I'll send out an all points. Dead or alive, Novak.
All right, Hellman. There's a dead guy here in my apartment right now. His name's Captain Edward Small, off the Calcutta.
I don't need any more bodies, Novak. I can hang you twice with what I got.
All right, Copper. But if you want your picture in the paper tomorrow, you can meet me out in Seacliff in 15 minutes. 48 Camino Drive. When I hung up the phone, most of the puzzle straightened out like wet wash in a dry wind. Well, there's one thing you can count on. When you bet on miracles, you buy a ticket straight through. I finally pulled up at the Lampson place, and I started looking around for Hellman. The joint looked about as crowded as a Kremlin breakfast for Senator Taft. I was taking a fast check, trying to figure how far they could have gone, when Hellman fought his way through the box hedge for the driveway. We circled down behind the garage and around in back of the house. We just made it in time for the curtain scene. Sheila Lampson was backing down slow toward the seawall, waving her arms in the air and begging every inch of the way. And Georgie stumbled after her like the avenging angel, and she had a gun. She had a coat tossed over her hospital gown, and the look in her eyes told the whole story. Tears and hate and lots of bullets.
Novak, you've got to stop her. She's crazy. She's crazy. She wanted to kill me.
What's so crazy about that?
You're sweet, Patsy, but you weren't invited. Don't get too close to the animals.
It's your gun, Georgie. Don't let it hang you. This is Hellman from Homicide.
No good, Patsy. This one's for me. Isn't it, Sheila?
Georgie.
Isn't it for me?
Please, Georgie, don't. Novak, stop her. Stop her before it's too late.
All right, girls, let's break it up.
Be good, Copper. You too, Patsy.
It's your neck. It won't look good stretched.
Please, Georgie.
Don't eat that, Sheila. Not yet. First, I want to tell you how clever you are. How sweet you looked at my mother's funeral. How you ruined my father. How to screech with other men, Sheila. Tell her it was magnificent.
Georgie, please. I didn't know, Georgie. I didn't know. I swear I'll make it up to you. Please.
One other thing, Sheila. Listen to me, Sheila. Those emeralds you've got. The ones you sent Haynes to Shanghai for. The ones he killed my father for. They were glass, Sheila. 10-cent green glass. You hear, Sheila? Glass.
Please. Georgie, please.
Georgie, watch her. Sheila's got a gun.
Patsy.
Take it easy, baby. You got a long trip.
She's dead. Isn't she, Patsy? She's dead.
She didn't die, baby. With that much lead, she sank.
It burns, Patsy. It burns.
It'll cool. The fog's starting to come in.
remember the party, Patsy?
Yeah, I remember.
Then say it, Patsy. Please say it now. Say it.
Yeah, Georgie, I'd say it, but you're not listening. We found a letter in Georgie's coat pocket that told most of the story, and then Hellman grabbed Mike and Sheila's sister and sweated the rest out of them. Well, it wasn't a pretty story, but it moved. When Sheila spent the professor broke and he checked out over in China, Georgie decided to blow the whistle on her. She made up that phony yarn about the emeralds, and then she let Haynes murder her father and walk off with them. They were glass. To make it look good, Haynes played pallbearer and took the boat back with the body. But not before Georgie tipped the captain and the first mate about that sack of emeralds Haynes was supposed to have. So they went to work. They robbed Haynes and planted a fake for a fake. It was a real cat and mouse game. Georgie only made one mistake, but sometimes that's all it takes. She flew back here a few days before the Calcutta got in so that she could be around for the payoff. One of Sheila's pals must have spotted her and trailed her to my place. And then the sapping started. That was the same night the Calcutta got in, and people started checking packages and pulling triggers. When Sheila found her package was a fake, she figured Haynes was being cute, so he got it first. And then she went out after that original fake. She tried to double up and hang Haynes' body on me and get rid of Georgie at the same time. But Georgie didn't die easy. I don't know how the captain got onto me, probably through Sheila. But her gunsel friends took care of the first mate with a knife when he got anxious. Well, when the dust lifted and they counted cold noses, it was a real devil's game. Wherever he was, Georgie's old man must have been holding his sides and rolling in the aisles. Yeah, a real plum. And Sheila found out when you get close enough to the seed, the taste gets bitter. Well, Hellman asked only one question. How come a smart girl like Georgie bought something as stupid as revenge? I don't know. She was a lot better at a lot of other things.
Cast included Lois Andrews, Steve Brody, Herbert Litton, Jerry Hausner, Ivan Ditmars, Ray Erlenborn, and Hal Sawyer. This is a Larry Finley transcription, brought to you from Hollywood.